Guerilla Cricket. Whoa. Guerilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerilla Cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick Guerilla Cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, Guerilla Cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerilla Cricket.
2 weeks, thrills and spills, more threes than you can shake a stick at, an unfeasible number of no balls. This festival of tabletop cricket for the laptop age comes to an end, where it pretty much all started back in those warm-up games. Nigel Henderson's Fat Lot of Use 11 snuck into the semi-finals and entertained and shithoused their way into the final. The making a spectacle of themselves 11, helmed by Tony Bishop, have been the runaway successes of the tournament. Undefeated, unbeaten, undone. Let's see. Welcome, hello everybody, to Guerilla Cricket's coverage of the Dickwella-Broad Owzat Trophy final. It's been incredibly exciting so far. We're very excited to have actual cricket back very, very soon. But in the meantime, we'll bring you to the shuddering, juddering climax of fake cricket. I am your social media host and scorer, Knuckle M. Pandey. And I'm joined by the sighing, darkened man, Nigel Henderson.
Well, I'm all for a bit of a shuddering, juddering climax.
And on that horrible image, Tony Bishop.
I'm speechless at just the thought of that shuddering, juddering, hendo climaxing. But yes, here I am and delighted to be here.
Waving
Don't
in.
forget.
Sorry, Tony. And waving interview the fine fingers of Nigel the Bear Walker.
It's not what they've been described on the WhatsApp group as, I might add.
He'll be, I'm staying out of such things. We'll be going over to him for the toss in a second. Tony will have the call, but should say, of course, that we are doing this not just for fun and entertainment, yours and ours, but to raise some money for our dear friends, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. We've managed to raise just shy of 300 quid so far, which has been which has been fantastic. But we want to push that over the 350 mark, or even the 400 markers, if at all possible. They do fantastic work researching treatment, prevention, and hopefully eventually cure of type 1 diabetes, which is a disease that affects millions of people in the UK and elsewhere, and it's of course very dear to our hearts. It robbed us of our dear friend and commentator and colleague Dan Lucas a few years ago. Tony has a personal connection to it as well, with his son being affected by type 1 diabetes. We've been working with them for a few years, and we're continuing that. We've done a fantastic podcast that Tony did with Dan Newman from JDRF UK, which you can go and listen to, telling everybody more about his journey with type 1 and JDRF's work. But yeah, please do go to the crowdfunding link that's in the pinned tweet on our timeline. It's also on Facebook and in the video descriptions of the videos on YouTube and Facebook. Hello, YouTube and Facebook. Hello, Twitter as well. We'll be coming to your social media comments shortly. We've got one already from Sam from the ADS, says, first, and you guys are so cool on YouTube. Yes, we are. And on Twitter, Leah, who's changed her name to Leah. Hello, Leah, soon to leave this shithole.
Ooh, which particular hole?
Aren't we all? Hello, Gorillas. Much more cricket just after final and none of that third place playoff nonsense. Who are we? FIFA?
I must say though that the third place playoff was an idea to shame those people who failed to make the final, rather than actually, because you really need a third and a fourth in a
It worked. They were too ashamed to turn up.
Exactly.
They were so ashamed they couldn't be bothered. Yes, in an 8-team tournament. So that was the voice of Nigel Henderson and the voice of Tony Bishop. Bear, over to you for the all-important toss. Tony Bishop as the nominated away team for this tournament. You have the call for this final.
I will go heads.
Heads it is. It's a head. Tony, what are you going to do?
I will field.
Oh,
They're making a spectacle of themselves. 11 have chosen to field first. Big call in a final, of course. Run us through your 11, Tony. We understand you are unchanged from the semi-final, and indeed from the final group game, in fact, or the second group game, in fact. You've had unchanged 11.
Point of order very quickly for the production bear. I think I can still see. Oh no, the scorecard's changed. Perfect. My 11. Geoffrey Boycott, add 2 wickets to the score. Eddie Barlow, David Steele, paid in lamb chops. The magnificent, elegant right-hander Zahir Abbas. MJK Smith, everybody's best friend. Sir Clive, passenger of the Bear Lloyd. Dick Young, wicketkeeper. 135, I think he is, but he's you count the number of stumpings he's got in this tournament. He's been no mug with the gloves. Percy Fender, the Maverick from Surrey, of course. Alf Valentine, cricket, lovely cricket. You're right, my one change in the entire series. Jack Leach, famously now, of course, trod on a rake down there at Taunton, carelessly left out by the Somerset groundsman, which sprung up, smacked him in the eye. He still hasn't recovered. So in came Paul Allott. And the one and only, you guys are history, Devon Malcolm is the spearhead of my pace attack. In fact, he's the only pace in my pace attack.
That pace attack and non-pace attack will be steaming into bowl at Hendo. Run us through your 11 and your openers. You're also unchanged from through most of the tournament, in fact.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first game, of course, when Gary had to step in, he made a couple of changes to my preferred lineup, and we got back on track. And of course, we're now in the final, which is, it might have been easier had Gary stuck with my team, but I'm not going to say anything about that. Mohammad Shahzad will open along with Mark Cosgrove. That was the only thing I was thinking about. Mark Cosgrove hasn't really set the tournament alight. Thought about pushing WG up to open and taking on Inzamam Al Haq or Mike Gatting, but in the end, Cosgrove gets it as right hand, left hand partnership at the top. WG Grace at 3, coming in at 4. The captain, Warwick Armstrong, the big ship. Arjuna Ranatunga, Samit Patel, purely because of his jingle. Ian Botham after 1984, who's been better than the Ian Botham before 1984 in this tournament. Rakeem Cornwall, who we're expecting to see a lot of this summer in many ways. I mean, you always see a lot of Rakeem Cornwall because there is a lot of him. Ian Austin, Dwayne Leverock. Now, what a revelation Dwayne Leverock has been with bat and ball. 8 for 34 in the semi-final. And bringing up the rear, in a way, as you might expect from a man who calls everyone arsewipe, it's Merv Hughes.
Those are the 11s. It is, just to remind you, a one-innings game, unlimited overs. Declarations are possible. We've seen a few of those, but it seems to have gone rather out of fashion in this tournament, as it has in Test cricket. The making a spectacle of themselves 11 have won the toss and will field first here at Trent Bridge. And bowling from the which end is going to be whom?
Bowling from the pavilion end is going to be Devon. You guys are history, Malcolm.
Well, Devon Malcolm.
Hold on, he's got a jingle.
Of course.
Is he going to bowl at Shazad first?
Yeah.
Malcolm Devon, and his neck so small that you can hardly see. And in '94 the ciphers fell one by one. 9 for 57 from Devon Malcolm.
Bowling 2.
This isn't just another Afghan cricketer. All new Mohammad Shahzad, with class-leading power and a 3-ton towing capacity. There's never been so much innovation in a cricketer. Mohammad Shahzad gets the tough jobs done.
Right.
Umpire Erasmus says, play!
Point of order.
Yeah.
Rules.
Come on.
There will be no fucking questioning me if it's in the middle of an over. If it's the end of an over and I roll and you're not ready, that's a different matter. But no, none of that. If it's a fifth ball of the over and you're just warbling on and I roll the dice, that counts. I'm the ref.
Well, I'm not sure about that. You have to agree with the captains. Are you happy with that, Tony?
I'll let you know when it happens.
Yeah,
and who it happens to.
That's the rules. I'm in
Happens
charge.
to you, I'm probably not bothered.
Right, here goes.
Right.
First ball.
Okay. Devon Malcolm coming in from the pavilion end. He bowls to Shahzad, and Shahzad is away immediately. He tucked that with consummate ease, using the pace of the ball to take it away behind square leg, and he'll hurry back for a third. What a good start from the Fat Use 11. Malcolm again in. Oh, and now Mark Cosgrove is making up for lost ability by crunching that through the offside for 4, and it's 7 for no wickets.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Continuing the points of order, should we have a jingle for Mark Cosgrove, who's not often been said to be lacking ability, to be fair?
Well, I meant in this tournament, to be honest. He hasn't really come good, but he did play that shot particularly well.
Can we have a jingle?
Yes.
Cosgrove's alright, but nothing great. That's left and bowls right. Cosgrove's alright, played for his state. But then he got dropped, cause he was overweight. Cosgrove's alright.
Pretty sure we haven't had that jingle very often in this tournament, probably because he's not been out there very long.
Well, I tend to play the opener who's facing, and then he gets out.
In comes Malcolm again, and Cosgrove leans into this again, once more picking his spot to the right hand of extra cover, and that has sped away to the boundary edge for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Malcolm now just wanders back to his run, comes into Cosgrove. This time he airs on line on the leg stump, and it's tickled away, gone very fine indeed. There's a man running around from long leg. He's going to get back for a third. This is a very good and positive start against Malcolm, who got 5 wickets in the semi. In he comes again and bowls, and crunched again by Mohammad Shahzad. This one over the top of extra cover, who needs to use the ground, put it in the air and put it out to the boundary.
Want to come? Of course, it did use the ground slightly.
Eventually, yes. And he's going to take a single off the final ball, as that one is played into the mid-wicket region. That is the end of the over. Shahzad will keep the strike. I should have said that, of course, Malcolm was a destroyer-in-chief in the group game between these two, and took, I think it was it 5 for 27, Tony? Something like that?
5 for 45, including Cosgrove, and WG first ball.
Yeah, absolutely. So these batsmen have got a point to prove against Devon Malcolm. Anyway, who's going to be up in the bowling for you at the other
Well,
end?
just Joel bring up to date with the score and some social media commentary. The fat lot of Use 11, having been put in by the making a spectacle themselves 11, are 19 for no loss off the first over. Mohammed Shahzad is on 8 off 3. Mark Cosgrove on 11. Finals are either classics or massacres. Which will this be? I wonder. Durban Oak says, afternoon. Assuming you're having the finally, because Hendo's been made unemployed again. Lennox Lear says, I think Tony missed a trick there by not including the later incarnation of Verinder Sehwag in the making a spectacle of themselves 11. There is qualifying footage, and indeed there is. And Pirate Badshah at large says, afternoon, old salts. Come on, ye fat boys. Stumpings and no balls are plenty. We have some commentary with us on Facebook. Llewellyn Cave says, Hendo and Bish, life is good. And Davey Pat says, yo lads, what's the crack? Glad you're alive and all that. We're glad we're alive too. Cricket's almost here.
Oh, I'm getting so excited. It's those last few minutes. It's like the last 10 minutes of a train journey. The nearer it gets, the longer it seems to take, and the more excited you get.
I'm watching all the footage from the intra-squad warm-up game and the scorecards and reading the tea leaves. Who are they going to pick? Who are they not going to pick? It's all very exciting. Anyway, who's bowling the second over?
Well, with the man with the vector of infection in his hand is going to be none other than Paul Allott.
Let's get all those jokes out of the way before the test series starts.
Yeah, I guess he's okay, but wait up, here's the kicker. He's Paul Allott. He was 6'4". He should have bowled much quicker.
True.
Yeah, he probably should do, but there you go. He's a wily old trooper, and he's coming in to bowl Shahzad, and Shahzad says, "Don't bowl me a full toss on leg stump, because I will swing you away all the way over mid wicket, and without a bounce, it will disappear into the crowd." Allott goes back to his mark, comes in again, and Shahzad is looking in good form. He's trying to get away quickly here, give them a great start. He's going to pick up 3 more as that runs out towards deep mid-wicket. And it's retrieved by Percy Fender, but they still get back for that 3rd run. Bringing Cosgrove down to face. Cosgrove will just keep the score rotating. He just tickles that away into the onside. The left-hander, he's just not quite getting his line here, Paul Allott. It's another single. Allott back to his mark, comes in, bowls, and this time Shahzad will pick up 2 more. Backward a square, going towards deep backward point. And in comes Allott again, looking for this breakthrough, but it won't come there, but it's 3 more. He didn't quite get all of that as he tried to pull a slightly shorter one, rather bottom-edged it, but he will get 3 because there's nobody out there at the deep mid-wicket boundary. It's going to be chased by Fender again. He's having to do a lot of work already for an old man. And
Want to come.
Gets up the other end. In comes Allott, and it's 3 more. Their 3s are just flowing from the blades of Shahzad and Cosgrove. Cosgrove will keep the strike as this one is to the left hand of 3rd man, who's chased round the boundary by 20 yards to get to that. And that is the end of the over. What's the score?
Yeah, end of the second over. Actually, Allott pulled that over back quite well after that first ball at 6, not being hit for a boundary for the rest of the over. Still 18 off it, 37 for no loss, the fat lot of Use 11 having been put into bat. Cosgrove is on 15, Shahzad is on 22.
And it'll be Cosgrove to face, will it not?
Will indeed.
Yes. And Malcolm
yeah, Devon's been having a word with Clive Lloyd. Disappointing start for him, but he's pretty stoked now, so he will continue.
It's coming into Cosgrove, and there's a big shout. This time Malcolm, and it's not out. It was bouncing. It was just going over the top, and Cosgrove survives to fight. Well, today actually, not another day. And he's had another appeal. This is outlandish stuff from Malcolm, and it's always been given this time. Well, I thought that was too high as well, but surely it's not, because Erasmus has given it. And poor Cosgrove, who was looking good at last in this tournament, has unfortunately fallen to the great Devon.
Yeah, another one thing nor t'other from Mark Cosgrove in this tournament, really. 15 off 7, which is quite pedestrian in the context of this tournament. Just the 2 fours. LBW to Devon Malcolm. 2.2 overs gone. 37 for 1. The fat lot of Use 11 having been put into bat in this final.
It'll be the great WG coming to the crease.
Or indeed the great WG.
WG Grace, of course, the only man in this tournament to have been brought up on an orchard.
Really?
Cool.
Okay.
Stunned silence.
Absolutely. He's in, bowls to WG Grace, and WG avoids getting a first baller, as he did in the group game, tickles that away into the offside, and jogs in a leisurely fashion, befitting a Victorian gentleman, through to the other end. In again, bowls to Shazad. Shazad lofts again over the top of extra, although he skived it a little bit, skewed it a little bit. They will get back for three as the ball spins away from David Steele, who finally gets there and hurls it in left arm over the stumps. WG back down to face Devon, and he's going to pick up two here, as this one is again just pushed into the onside past the man at mid wicket. Poor old Percy Vender having to do more work on a very hot day.
One to come.
He's in again, ball to Shazad, and Shazad will keep the strike. WG will keep the strike as he hits three more here. Once more, he's picking that area just to the right of mid-wicket and forcing poor old Percy. Percy's going to be exhausted before he has a chance to bowl. That is the end of the over.
Yeah, very good one indeed for the making a spectacle of themselves 11. Just the 9 runs off it in 1 wicket. There hasn't been a boundary for 11 balls, and in fact, there have only been 4 boundaries in the 3 overs thus far. 46 for 1, the fat lot of use. 11 having been put into bat. WG Grace is on 6 off 3. Mohammed Shazad is 25 off 8. More social medias. Nestle Boy says, buggering hell, it's hot out. The Ghost of Zoob says, now this is a game that is to my liking. The good old days when life was so simple, I was still alive and didn't qualify for the fat side. Leah seemed to lose this shithole, which we've now discovered is Munich, which I am to leave for Hanover in the foreseeable future. I really hope Mr. Dawood Ibrahim from Mumbai doesn't know how's that, because I stand to win a princely sum from him if there are no runners. Dawood Ibrahim, a notorious Mumbai gangster of recent times. We've got a few people with us. Somebody with a name in Hindi script, which unfortunately I can't read, but hi. Says hi, so hi.
Hi. Who's facing? Is it Mohammed Shazad?
It is WG.
WG to face, and who's bowling, Tony?
Well, before you do, I should just point out when you talked about WG Grace being brought up on an orchard, Stephen Smith's grandmother was also brought up on an orchard.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for that.
Wicked.
How do you know that?
Stephen
Sake. Let it sink in. He'll get there in the end. In the meantime, it's going to be Paul Allett to continue.
Oh dear, too subtle with the likes of the fat lot of use. Come on, I mean, we prefer sort of slapstick. We
Oh God.
humour we're into.
Steve Smith's mum is from Doncaster.
Is that actually true? Mine obviously was total nonsense, but well, there you go.
There you go. Right, so it's Paul Allett coming in to bowl to WG Grace, and here he is up past the umpire onto the crease. He bowls, and it's smacked by WG Grace, who eased himself into his innings with a couple of runs, but now is launching, and it's what they've all come to see.
First boundary in 12 balls.
Well, that's broken the spell. In comes Allett again. Bowls to WG Grace, who thought about hitting it for 4 while the dice poised for a little while, but it rolled over onto a 6, and so it's gone out of the ground from WG Grace. Successive maximums.
2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
Yeah, we're just seeing that again. It just landed on the sponge.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Be a Victoria sponge given the Hendo's team.
Wow,
the Victorian sponge, indeed. The Victorian sponge, WG Grace, decided he's going to get 3 runs this time as he flicks that away through square leg, and he's very happy now with 15 from his first 3 balls. Allett then to bowl to Mohammed Shazad. He's coming into the small Afghani, and Afghani is
small.
Well, he tucks that away backward a square. Lovely little late cut, really, from the man himself. He goes on to, what does he go on to?
27 off 9, 1 4 and 1 6. By the way, that first 6 of the over brought the 50 up. 63 for 1 now with 2 balls left in the 4th over. By the way, I think that's the only time Mohammed Shazad's ever been referred to as small.
Tiny in height, but particularly rotund. In comes Allett again to bowl to Shazad, and Shazad is thinking about what he's going to do with this, and gets a little inside edge onto the pad, but they run through for a very sneaky single. Well spotted that by WG, and another run is added to the scorecard.
1 to come.
Final ball of the over.
With that.
And all that came back into who's out there?
Grace.
WG.
Grace.
And he just manages to push that into the onside again through the mid-wicket region, and he'll come back for a second. That is the end of over number
4. Yeah, 20 runs off that over to go with 18 from the first over. Consistent from Paul Allett in that he started overs badly and finished them quite well. After 4 overs, 66 for 1, the Fat Lot of Use 11 having been put in to bat. Mohammad Shahzad is 28 off 10. WG Grace is 23 off 7. Yet to hit a 4, but has hit 2 sixes. Jeff Perkins says, I asked the Ghost of Zoob on Twitter whether there were indeed fat ghosts. And Jeff Perkins says, ectoplasm is very low in carbs and protein, so yeah, lots of slimy fat in those greasy ghosts. Leah says, if Smith's grandmother looks anything like him, I think it is more likely she was brought up in an orc yard than an orchard. Badumts. Nestle Boy says, I am transfixed by Hendo's swirly ceiling pattern.
Oh yes, it's
That'll be the Artex.
It's coming back into fashion in about 15 years, apparently.
It looks like an upside-down mattress. It looks like you've actually got a mattress on top of you rather than underneath you.
My whole home is a mattress, Tony.
Remember to turn your ceiling every 6 months. Who's bowling the 5th?
Devon's going to continue. He's been buoyed by the wicket of, was it Cosgrove?
Yeah.
Yep.
The wicket of Cosgrove.
So he's going to have at least one more over.
And he's bowling to
Mohammad Shahzad.
Mohammad Shahzad. He's in, he bowls to Shahzad, and Shahzad hits him for 4, stood up on his tiny toes, his fat little pinky, and thrashed it away through the offside for 4. And that's his highest score in the tournament. What a day to do it. He goes to 31, or 32 even.
32.
In he comes again. Oh no, there's a big appeal. That one came back into him, and it's been given. Oh, I thought it was LBW, but it's run off the pad, and it's just dislodged a bail, the leg bail. How unfortunate could Mohammad Shahzad be? It's a rather fortuitous breakthrough for Devon Malcolm.
So get on your bike and take a hike right out of here. Your history, no good for me. Your history, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah, Devon Malcolm continuing to enjoy his work against the Fat Lot of Use 11. 5 for in the first game now, 2 for 32 off 2.2 overs. Mohammad Shahzad bowled by Devon Malcolm for 32 off 12, 2 fours and a 6. Again, not a particularly impressive strike rate in the context of this tournament at 266.67 runs per 100 balls, 70 for 2 after 4.2 overs. And does this bring the large vessel to the middle?
It does, and joining the Victorian out in the middle is a man from Victoria. It's Warwick Armstrong.
That's one easy run for a man. But a bloody marathon for a solid one.
That's a weird jingle.
It is very weird indeed. Warwick Armstrong, the captain, waits for his first ball, and he's immediately into his stride. He gets that front foot well out to an over-pitch delivery from Devon Malcolm and creams it square through cover for 4 runs. The captain off in fine style. He waits for Malcolm in again. He bowls, and he's again. He tried to adjust it. Malcolm bowled it shorter, but it was outside off stump. It gave enough width to Warwick Armstrong, and he has carted that up and over cover this time, and it's gone for 4.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
What a fine start by the big ship. He waits for the next delivery from Devon Malcolm, who is in, and he bowls. And it's an appeal! Surely not the big one. No, it's a no ball. He's overstepped, has poor old Devon Malcolm. It's relief for the Fat Lot of Use 11.
Yes, super delivery from Big Dev, but just as we saw Shannon Gabriel in the intra-squad game that's been going on, fantastic delivery, but a no ball.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Shannon Gabriel, of course, well known for his no balls, isn't he? Devon Malcolm, not so much, but he's already got the wind up him because he's got that wicket and just straining a little bit too much. This time, Warwick Armstrong will ease into double figures as a straighter ball is worked off his hips towards mid-wicket, and they'll come back for a leisurely second.
Want to come.
Final ball of the over. Warwick Armstrong gets a short one from Malcolm. Top edge. Is he going to fall into the hands of the man at deep fine leg? No, it's cleared him. It's cleared him, and it's 6 runs for Armstrong. He gets away with it. I suppose a moral victory to Devon Malcolm, but look at the scorecard.
Yes, look at that scorecard. A weird over from Devon Malcolm. 4 wicket, 4, no ball, 2, 6, 21 off it, including that no ball, plus the wicket of Mohammad Shahzad. That scorecard also says Warwick Armstrong, 16 off 5. WG Grace, who'll be facing 23 off 7 after 5 overs having been put into bat. The fat lot of Use 11, 87 for 2.
It's been a better start for the fat lot of Use 11. We've quite regularly found ourselves in the 50s for 5 down, so there'll be quite
an actual platform for the lower middle order for once. Roger McCann is watching on Facebook Live.
Rog.
He lives.
Hello, Rog. Right.
Hi, Rog.
Right, who's
bowling then?
Oh,
Paul Allott, who's gone for 38, hasn't extracted anything positive from the Bears' digits of doom. So he's going to be replaced by the man immortalised by Lord Beginner in the Victory Calypso, none other than the slow left arm of Alf Valentine.
Coming up from the mist of time, the image of a man aging like fine wine. Alf Valentine, Alf Valentine.
Ah, yes, the wonderful To The Alf Valentine will come on to bowl. He's bowling WG Grace. Oh my goodness me, 2 giants of the game. But that one, as he aimed a sweep, he just got his leg outside off stump. It was a very close run thing, but Erasmus had to say, no, I'm very sorry, Alfie. That is not out. In comes Valentine again, left arm round the wicket. And this time, WG Grace does sweep and connects quite well. The ball is running with the spin away down from the man at deep backward square, and they will get back for a 3rd. In comes Valentine again, just a couple of steps in. Oh, and well struck that man, Warwick Armstrong, back over the head of the bowler, and that has been a very flat 6 indeed. And even a 4. That's
Even
how
a
flat
4.
it was.
The way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
So flat, it landed 15 yards inside the rope.
Excellent stuff from Warwick Armstrong. Faces up to the next delivery. And oh, he's rolled back, and there's another appeal as he tries to sweep. And he's been caught, I think, behind. I think he got a little inside edge onto the pad. It looped up, and Dick Young ran round from behind the stumps, has claimed it. There's some dispute going on there. Warwick Armstrong's not sure that he got an edge on that, but I think he's being told to go.
I won't look back, 'cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
Lively work from behind and then in front of the stumps by Richard Alfred Young here of the, I think, only 2 test matches for England. Warwick Armstrong, the fat lot of use captain, gone for 20 off 7 3-4s and 1 6, 94 for 3 after 5.4 overs.
Well, it is. It's the lineup, the fat lot of Use 11 lineup. They're promising more than they're producing. They've had to rely on the lower order, and it could happen again now. But on his way to the middle this time, a man who should get some runs. Surely he's got the class. It's Arjuna Ranatunga. Hello. Didn't play a jingle.
Yeah, well, you still got ball.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right. Go on, off you go. Off you go. Oh, John, he's not even been out there. It's a no ball. And quite right. That was absolutely outrageous from the match referee, and quite right that that should be called a no ball.
Over the line! Huh? I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
Valentine had the element of surprise and then blew
Was
it.
that the ICC?
Right. As you've now requested it, you'll get it.
No, I ain't saying he's a fat bugger, but Arjuna ain't skipping out on no cheeseburger. Put a muzzler on a good length. Arjuna Ranatunga's gotta go and get it.
Durban Oak says
what happened there was that.
Sorry, Durban Oak says we all know what's going to happen. Hendo will win because he'll get upset if he doesn't.
Well, I mean, if you've got to win somehow, haven't you?
Look, occasionally I forget to play a jingle. Doesn't mean a ball doesn't count, mate.
Well, listen, the thing is, Arjuna Ranatunga was taking guard when Valentine just suddenly turned and bowled, and then quite rightly, he protested to the umpire who had sent it upstairs, and I think the right
here comes the
decision
next
was made.
ball.
2 to come.
Alf Valentine then into Arjuna Ranatunga, and it's going to be 3 runs this time as he goes on to the back foot and forces through the onside, and he's away.
1 to come.
In again, bowls to WG Grace. WG Grace is going to get a couple here as he steers this back past the bowler. It means man at mid-off has to run back to chase that. Well done by that man, Clive Lloyd.
And that ends the 6th over, an eventful one. Dot 3-4, wicket, no ball, 3-2. Pretty decent over from Alf Valentine, 13 runs off it. After 6, 100 up for the Fat Lot of East 11. 100 for 3, which is far better than they've managed through the tournament thus far. Arjuna Ranatunga on 3 off 2. WG Grace 28 off 10. What else have we got on the social medias? That's it for now. Please do donate to the crowdfunder, justgiving.com/crowdfunding/ DB-Owzat Trophy. There's a reason I'm not reading that out all the time because it's quite long and unwieldy, but it's pinned to our Twitter and Facebook feeds, and it's in the video description of this video of this game on Facebook and on YouTube. Please do give generously to help us help JDRF UK combat type 1 diabetes, and also help us out a little bit as well as we enter a brave new world of guerrilla broadcasting. Remote guerrilla broadcasting will be a thing for the West Indies series.
It will. It means I won't have to sit in the same room as the bear, which is wonderful news. We will be at least 11 miles apart. And,
I am currently
for anyone who's ever experienced the bear in person, that is
on YouTube. People can see me giving you the finger.
Yeah, I know they can, but I can't, so I don't mind. Who's going to bowl, Tony?
Well, Percy Fender is going to see if he can extract anything out of the dubious digited one.
Do we know whether he's going to bowl?
No, he's bowling medium pace, Endo.
Percy Fender.
Yes, indeed. Percy Fender, who had to do a lot of running early on in this game, he's in the field. He comes on to bowl to Arjuna Ranatunga, and Ranatunga smacks this medium pace filth back, almost cross-batted down the ground for 6 wonderful runs.
2, 4, 6.
Good start for Arjuna. Man, of course, credited with developing the idea of pinch hitting in the '96 World Cup. Here comes Fender again. He will not surrender to him, and well, that was extraordinary because that looked like it had gone off the pitch, found the edge, and it's just gone wide of the wicketkeepers. Means third man has come round to field. That man is Eddie Barlow, and they get through for a single. Brings WG Grace down to face. In comes Fender to WG. And WG is going to get another 3 here. He's going to have to run fast, though, if he wants to get that. He's coming back for the third. It could be dangerous, but he's just going to get there as the bails are whipped off by Dick Young. But he has survived. Has Ranatunga. Difficult for these fat men to run 3. It really is exhausting for them, especially as they've had a lot of raw eggs today. This one is smacked for 4 by Arjuna Ranatunga onto the back foot, standing on his toes and driving through extra cover. Lovely, technically perfect shot. In comes Fender again. He drops this one a little bit short. He goes back, he swivels, he smashes it. It's gone high, it's gone long. It's cleared the boundary. It's 20 rows back. 6 more runs for Arjuna Ranatunga.
1 to come.
Fender then, final ball of the over. He bowls, and there's going to be 2 more for Ranatunga. He's going to have to get those legs pumping. He does to get back for that second one, as that was sent away through mid-wicket. And that is the end of the over, and the score is...
After 7 overs having been put into bat, the Fat Lot of East 11 in this Dickwella-Broad Owzat Trophy final are 122 for 3. WG Grace is 31 off 11. Arjuna Ranatunga scoring much faster, 22 off 7. That pair of 6s in that over means that was the best over of the innings for the Fat Lot of East 11, 22 runs off it.
Well, I did say Percy Fender was a little bit tired. He had to do a lot of work in the field early on, and maybe that's taken it out of him as a man of his... dotage. Anyway, who's going to be bowling? Is it going to be Alf Valentine?
Before we come to that.
Valentine 1 for 12 in the last over. Should have been 3. So he will continue the attack.
Yeah, just before we come to Alf's second over, the 8th over the innings, Jeff Perkins says, just remote broadcasting mean Hendo has to buy his own beer? Sounds like a win for the Bear.
Very much so.
I am going to be a little bit worried about the lack of pastries. I do have to say that could be tricky. I mean, I need at least 2 pan of chocolates to get going in the morning, so that could be.
Just Eat can deliver them for you, Hendo.
Oh, can they just 2? What? It's hardly worth it for two croissants, is it?
Well, for all day's cricket, you're going to need more than that.
Yeah, true. That's very true. Anyway, it's Alf Valentine bowling to WG Grace, and in he comes, left arm round the wicket. He bowls to WG. WG just dismisses him. He stood there, waited for it. It was floated up, and he drove it back over his head, and it's a couple of bounces and 4 runs.
WG is now the highest scorer in the innings with 35 off 12.
Well, they've come to see him bat in a final, and he's batting well in a final at the moment. He's waiting for the next ball through. Valentine, but this could be the end for him. There's a big appeal, a massive appeal, but would you believe it? His trailing leg has gone wide of the return crease, and it's been called a no ball. Extraordinary stuff.
No need for the firing squad because it was a back foot no ball, but still.
But there you go, and WG Grace celebrates his let-off by picking up another 3 as he sweeps deep into the outer and runs back. Next delivery is bowled another appeal, this time against Arjuna Ranatunga, and he's been given LBWs. He tried to sweep up the Sri Lankan, just trying to play one attacking shot too many early in the innings, and he's been trapped by Alf Valentine.
Yeah, Arjuna not learning from the non-turning demon left arm spin exploits of Dwayne Leverrock. Alf Valentine doing much the same thing. The Ranganahara special, and the former Sri Lankan captain is gone for 22 off 8, 1-4 and 2 sixes. Ends what has not been an especially good tournament for the wily Sri Lanka, but that brings a real crowd pleaser to the middle.
Indeed, it does. It's
at 130 at 130 for 4 halfway through the 8th over.
I'm going to say damn it, but it is going to be Summit.
Summit. Yes, Dad. I've got something to say.
Sit back. You got a minute and a half.
We got pinged for copyright on YouTube for this.
Skillful way.
Yeah, we did. And Facebook.
You beat the other players to the lunch buffet.
Oh, Dad. Oh, Dad.
For the first time this series you ran it.
Summit.
The cheese board's now ours, so let's scram it.
Summit.
But please don't take pomegranate.
Summit.
I've one thing to say, and that's damn it, Summit. There's Irish stew. Your belly's no longer like granite.
Summit.
The corset's not working, let's can it.
Summit.
Your moves are approaching Titanic.
Summit.
I've one thing to say, and that's damn it, Summit. There's birth on croup. Andy Flower thinks that you're a joker, and you need to share the stone or 2. But your diet plan is mediocre. So SAMIT, let's try a poo-a-oo. Oh, this jingle's nicer than Ravi Bopoha.
Oh, Dad.
Now I'm full up and I'm so glad.
Oh, Dad.
That I could kick Gooch in the gonads.
Oh, Dad. Tom Curson on YouTube says, this is amazing. And I was just watching the Facebook Live subtitles through that jingle, and it talked about Summit ramming the cheese board.
Nice. Has been known, but actually on his way out, he's never batted with WG Grace before, and he's very honoured, and he has walked up to him and he has presented him with one of his bounties. Nice. And I think that will be useful for WG Grace because his blood sugar was getting a little bit low, and I think he'll be very happy to have had the beautiful coconut flavoured snack.
It's given him a bounty to forestall a mutiny.
Here comes the ball.
Oh, very good indeed. In bowls to Samit off the mark straight away, steering this one very cleverly to the right, or to the left rather, should I say, of the man at backward point. They'll get back for a second.
To the other right.
In comes Alf Valentine again, bowls this one flatter, but Patel sees it, swings it away over mid-wicket, and he will pick up 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One to come.
Valentine into Patel again, and Patel is looking in good form. He's being inspired by the great man at the other end, and off the final delivery, he keeps the strike by picking up a third.
Yeah, moving himself to 9 off 3. WG Grace 38 off 13 after 8 overs having been put into bat. The Fat Lord of Use 11, 139 for 4. Haven't really got away from the making a spectacle of themselves 11 in this tournament. Maybe we're seeing the pitch just slowing down towards the final as we saw during the last 50 over World Cup, but remains to be seen. We yet to get into the real power pack of both them, Cornwall and Leverock. They've done so much damage for the Fat Lot of Use 11. Who is going to bowl the 9th over, Tony?
Percy Fender is going to have a blow, and we're going to go for an all.
Lucky him.
We're going to go for the slow left arm lamb chop fueled bowling of David Steele.
All right, well, it's slow left arm orthodox from both ends at the moment.
Oh, respect he, cause he could play. It's David Steele. It's David Steele.
I prefer some cold cuts on a day like today than lamb chops.
Yeah, it could be. I also feel like
the barbecue's quite good though.
Yeah. All right then. Well, it's a slow left arm reunion out there, really, isn't it? Sam Patel, slow left armour, of course, and now David Steele coming into the attack, bowling to Patel. Patel, very cautious, showing respect to his fellow SLA man.
These fat fingers are from a left arm spinner too, you know.
Yeah, but there's, and it's 4 runs. 4 runs this time for WG Grace. Had a look at David Steele, thought you can't bowl, and has smeared him over mid-wicket for another 4.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
I do think that the Fat Lot of Use 11 as once more WG Grace leans into this one, hits it straight back over his head, 2-3 bounces, and that races into the pavilion.
Note, by the way, how Hendo didn't try and get that one re-rolled as he was.
I noticed that.
WG Grace is now on 46, and the Fat Lot of Use 11 are now on 148. So milestones ahoy!
Well, I did want to say, of course, that David Steele did actually handily offer up a few lean cuts before the game, and that really wasn't enough for our boys, and they were a bit disappointed not to have had a bit more gristle. But there you go. WG Grace is waiting, and in comes David Steele, and he drives this one. Didn't get all of it. It's maybe just turned a little bit, caught a little bit of an outside edge, but they are going to be able to run back for a third. That takes WG onto 49.
And the Fat Lot of Use 11 past 150, 151 for 4.
Well, you're never safe against this spectacle 11 as we saw in the semi-final. In comes David Steele, bowls to I'm not sure who he's bowling to, Samit Patel. Samit Patel has lofted that. He's really got hold of it, timed it beautifully. It's gone way up in the air, it's gone way long, and it's brought him 6 runs.
An attempted Karen ball, I think, from David Steele really didn't work. 1 to come in the over.
Yeah, Karen ball. I mean, it really wasn't invented when he was playing, so he was going out on a limb there. This one is tucked away behind square. Lovely little use of the blade there. Rob Patel just guiding it fine and picks up 2 more runs.
And he moves to 18 off 6, but he won't be facing WG Grace. Will be facing. He's on 49 off 16. I think he has got a 50 in this tournament thus far. After 9 overs, after 20 runs came off that first over from David Steele, 159 for 4. The Fat Lot of Use 11 having been put into bat.
I think I should correct you. I think it was the beardy WG Grace that got a 50 in this tournament for the beardy bastards. But this will be a first 50 for the fat WG Grace if he can get there. Who's bowling?
Well, Alf Valentine, he's taken 2 wickets, but for some extreme fat-fingered fuckery, should have taken 5. So he is going to be continuing.
Okay, so it
just
is
for you cussing
Alf
these
Valentine.
fingers. This is going to go bad for you, Tony.
Coming into bowl to WG Day. They've come to see him get a 50. Are they going to see it? Yes, they are, because he's drilled that through the offside. The man from mid-off is chasing it. It's Paul Allett. He's not particularly quick across the surface, and they're going to get back for 3. And WG Grace, for the first time in this tournament, the people rise and they laud the great man himself. He holds the bat aloft to all corners of the ground. He has 50 runs.
50 runs. You're 50 runs. Well done, well done. Well done, well done. 50 runs, you've 50 runs. The job has only just begun.
Specifically, he has 52 off 18 balls. One of those was a no ball, which for some reason our on-screen scoreboard doesn't quite count as a delivery face, but it does. 52, it does count. 52 off 18, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Not one of the faster 50s we've seen in this tournament, but a 50 nonetheless.
Well, it's good to see him in good form, WG. I mean, I think he's the kind of man for the big occasion, isn't he? He was a bit disappointed by the lack of a crowd for some of the early games. But now that they're packed into Trent Bridge today, there must be at least 14 people watching today. He's decided to show off all his abilities. Anyway, it brings Samit Patel down to face. And it's Alf Valentine, left arm around the wicket one, throws that one up. Patel likes what he sees, his eyes light up, and he drills that back over the head of Valentine, and that has gone for 4 more runs.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Valentine in again, bowls to Patel, and Patel goes down on his front leg, sweeps this away quite fine. They're going to run back for 3. And score moves on. Patel looking in decent nick. Brings WG Grace back down to face. In comes Valentine. Bowls to WG Grace, who has... Well, that is an extraordinary shot. He's just swiveled that. There was nothing wrong with the delivery, but he's got such an eye that he's managed to smear that. It's barely gone above 10 feet off the ground, but it's gone all the way to mid-wicket for a colossal one of these. Lovely stuff from WG Grace. We're seeing all his skills now. And once more, now would you believe it? He's never seen one of these before in his life, but he's brought out the reverse sweep, WG Grace. He says, you may not have seen this in 1885, but you see, I can adapt. And he's put that fine of the man at on the 45, and he's picked up another boundary. Well,
had WG been born 130 years later, there's no doubt he would have been dill scooping. Want to come.
Absolutely. Anyway, wait for the next delivery from Valentine, who is in to WG Grace. And this is another 4. Oh, now there it is. There is the ramp shot. He's lifted that one up. That's a very clever shot. He went down as if he was going to sweep it. And when it was straighter, he just opened the face and jabbed it away. Fine of the man on the 45 again, and picks up 4 more.
2 + 2 is our man.
Well, the most expensive over of the innings, that from Alf Valentine. 1 over too many, perhaps discouraged by his bad luck and his inability to control his feet, as they said about Jimmy Traore, with a 6 and 3 fours in that over. WG Grace is on 66 off 21 balls. Samit Patel will be on strike. He's on 25 off 8. After 10 overs, the Fat Lord of East 11, 183 for 4.
And is it going to be continuing with David Steele, Tony?
No, Eddie Barlow.
Eddie
You're going
Barlow.
to see a little bit of a right arm medium from Big Eddie.
Hendo, presumably it would have been in your game plan to get into the change bowlers of the making a spectacle of themselves 11.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't mind a little bit of extra pace on the ball, and Eddie Barlow, very skiddy, chunky fellow. I'm quite happy with that.
And you've got a jingle that goes like this.
He's come to play. He's going to stay right at the crease. But to follow.
And I'm quite happy to see these guys exhausting themselves before they've got a bat. It's very encouraging for us fat boys.
Decent total already. 183 for 4 after 10 overs.
Right, in comes Eddie Barlow, bowls to Samit Patel. He's going to pick up 3 runs here as he just uses the pace of the ball to lay it down. Fine behind square on the offside. Next ball is delivered, and it's another 3, this time for WG Grace, who was driven beautifully, you might even say gracefully, through the offside and picked up another triple. In he comes again, bowls to Samit Patel. Samit Patel looks at this one and just leans into it, smacks it hard and high over extra. That's going to go all the way for one of these. So not a great start for Eddie Barlow. He's in again, though. Bowls to Patel, and Patel this time goes back. It was slightly offline, down the leg side. He's going to flick it cleverly away towards deep back of the square for yet another 3. brings WG down to face. In comes Eddie Barlow, bowls to WG. WG's going to take another 3. This is a lot of running for these boys. They're going to need some more bounties, I would think, by the end of this little partnership. They picked up 3 more now down behind backward points on the offside.
Yeah, 1 to come.
Sami Patel. Oh, now there's a big appeal here from Eddie Barlow. He's got that straight, has he? Oh, well, no, it's brilliant work from Dick Young behind the stumps, who's just grabbed that one-handed, whipped the bails off, and Sami Patel had just stepped outside his crease. What on earth is going on there? But he's broken a very, very awkward partnership for the bespectacled 11.
Now you're gone.
The magic hands of Dick Young doing the job again. That's his probably 4th or 5th stumping of the tournament thus far, maybe more. Sami Patel gone for a bright and breezy 37 off 12, almost the fastest scorer of the innings, or certainly second fastest to the great WG. 2 4s and 2 6s. After 11 overs, 201 for 5, the fat lot of use 11 having been put into bat.
And coming to the crease.
Sorry, WG Grace is 72 not out of 23.
Wouldn't I love to see him get 100 here at Trent Bridge? Anyway, coming to the crease is post-1984 Sir Ian Terry Botham.
He's going to face Devon Malcolm.
That's right.
In Alpha Blow.
Be fair, Beefy has got boring. Yes.
Hey.
That's right, it's beefy.
Well, he's not
going to face just yet.
He's not going to face straight away, but I must say to Tony, I mean, fat lot of use boys gone past 200, and then you see WG Grace out there on 72, and you see Ian Botham striding the crease. It's ominous for your boys, isn't it?
You never know. It's all down to the roll of the dice, whichever way they fall for the founder and leader of Guerilla Cricket. Oh, mind you.
Oh, and there's a big appeal again! Oh my word, what is going on here? Another stumping! Oh, it's unbelievable. WG Grace goes in successive balls to Sami Patel. Sorry, not WG Grace. Ian Botham has gone. First
no,
ball.
WG.
WG has gone. Who's bowling, by the way? We didn't even know.
Devon Malcolm.
Devon Malcolm.
Magnificent stuff from Young. Successive stumpings off, well, the medium pace of Eddie Barlow, then the ferocious pace of Devon Malcolm. It's amazing what you can do in dice cricket. And would you believe it? I'm afraid that WG is gone.
On your bike, mate.
Oh, extraordinary.
Well, you don't get a wicket for 71 runs, then 2 come along in 2 balls. Amazingly, that is Dick Young's second stumping off Devon Malcolm in this tournament. WG goes for a fantastic 72 off 24 balls, scoring at exactly 18 runs and over, 5 4s and 3 6s, 201 for 6 after 11.1 overs. But now we're into the part of your batting order, Hendo, that's done the real damage.
Well, it has, and it just needs to come good. They just need to sort of consolidate after those 2 rapid stumpings from Dick Young. Extraordinary cricket we're seeing here. It is Rakeem Cornwall coming to the middle.
Today is gonna be the day that you get on your new diet. By now you just somehow got really fat. I don't believe that anybody weighs as much as you do now. 'Cause after all, you're Rakeem Cornwall.
I, for one, hope we'll get very used to that jingle over the course of this series.
Yes, indeed. He's going to be facing Devon Malcolm. Malcolm to Cornwall. It's going to be Devon to Cornwall. It's what they all wanted, and immediately Rakeem Cornwall proves the superior county by smacking that away for 4 runs square on the offside. And he's onto the back foot again, a little bit too short from Malcolm, a little bit too wide. He's cut that away. The top of the bounce, he's going to pick up 3 more, brings Ian Botham down to face his first ball. In comes Malcolm, bowls, and well, he went after that. He got a thick inside edge. He was playing it all round it, really, and it's gone very fine for a rather fortunate 4. Both players underway, even if in rather dubious circumstances. In comes Malcolm again, bowls to both. I mean, it's another appeal, and that's been given as a no ball. Would you believe it? Tony can't. He shakes his head. Devon, you've overstepped again, and both have survived.
Two no balls apiece for Devon Malcolm and Alf Valentine.
Well, there you go. It really
bowling,
does pay to get your feet in the right place as a batsman and a bowler. In comes Malcolm again, bowls to both. Who's going to take a single this time as he just eases that into the offside on the front foot and brings Raheem Cornwall down to face. Is it just one ball to go?
Yeah. One to come, yes.
One to come. So Malcolm in bowls. And there's another appeal against Raheem Cornwall. Surely not. Devon will not have had his revenge, will he? No, he's not. He's done it again. He's overstepped for the second time in this over. Extraordinary stuff.
Huh? I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
Tone, it's all going wrong, mate.
Well, he's speechless at the moment. It's going to be a new over, isn't there?
There's a replay. Someone pressed the wrong button.
Can we find out who's bowling before you throw the dice?
No, it's no ball, isn't it? It's ball's come.
Oh, it's no ball. Sorry, Devon in again, bowls, and that's injury to insult as Raheem Cornwall carves that over the offside. A couple of bounces as it runs into the boundary edge.
1, 2, 3, 4.
End of the over.
End of the 12th over. 18 runs off it with those two no balls and those 3 fours. Ian Botham will face. He's on 5 off 3. Raheem Cornwall is on 11 off 4. Devon to Cornwall here today. Scone tomorrow. 219 for 6 after 12. And Linux Thea says, Bounty, what are you talking about, Hendo? It was a Snickers on a good length. No, coconut abomination, which I think is an excellent way of describing a bounty. And WG also looks like more like he needs a bucket of lard. And there's some chat amongst some people which has somehow found its way to us.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be who's going to be bowling, Tony? Did we find out?
Eddie Barlow's going to carry on.
He's going to be bowling to Ian Botham. And in he comes, bowls to Botham. Botham will just play that gently through the offside, but cleverly he's taking the weight off the ball, and the man's coming in from the boundary. They're going to pick up 2. Brings him back to face. Next delivery is going to be 3 more runs to Botham. And he got inside that one and whipped it away. But didn't really get all of it. Maybe a bit of inside edge onto hip, and that is going to allow them to come back for the third. Bringing Raheem Cornwall down to face, and there's 3 more. I think we saw this in one of the warm-up games. Raheem Cornwall, Ian Botham getting together, running the threes because they are possibly the fittest in the camp of the fat boys.
Just word in, that was a typo.
Anyway, 2 more to Botham this time as it's played through mid-wicket. Just gently getting into their stride here. He's in again. Bowls, and there's 3 more. How many threes in this over already? I think that's 3.
3, yes. So it's been 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, and 1 to come.
And who's facing?
Cornwall.
Cornwall to face. Final ball of the over from Eddie Barlow, but he struck with the final ball of his last over. What can he do here?
Hey!
It's another 3. It's another 3 for Raheem Cornwall, who's looking good. Nick got 36 in the semi-final, and he's contributing already to this game.
Certainly is. He's on 17 off 5. Ian Botham 15 off 6. 235 for 6 after 13 overs. Lovely symmetrical over. 233, 233. 16 runs off it from Eddie Bunter Barlow.
Right, so back to Devon Malcolm, who's trying to finish off this fat boy's lower order, but they're providing good resistance at the moment. It's going to be Ian Botham to face, I believe.
Well, is it Devon Malcolm?
Yes, it is.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Defeated already, Tone.
He's in, he bowls, and Botham crunches that. Sorry, Cornwall lifted up and over mid-wicket, and that's no doubt going to the boundary. Hefted by the great man, the big man, It was like an enormous crane in operation there. In he comes again, bowls, and once more it's smashed back over his head. You've got to have a good eye to be able to see a ball of that pace and then smack it straight for 6. Lovely work from, who was that? Ian Botham?
Cornwall.
Ronald Cornwall again. Great stuff from the man.
Devon is beating up Cornwall. No, the other way round.
We've had that, Bear. We've had
Yeah,
that,
I know. Shut up.
Bowls.
Shut up.
Bowls. Once more to
Quality
Rakim Cornwall. Rakim Cornwall is in magnificent form. This time he has aimed a cut, but it's he's got a top edge and it's flown down fine of third man for 4 more.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This just in from the match referee. He's not worth it. Leave him, Terry.
Exactly.
In comes Devon again. Bowls to Cornwall. Cornwall. It's been hit on the toe there, I think. Let's see what the umpire says to that. He says it's a no ball, Devon. It doesn't matter whether that was going to hit. It's a no ball, I'm afraid. And Cornwall survives again.
And Devon Malcolm's fourth no ball in 31 actual deliveries brings up the 250 for 6.
And I see Tony tearing out what remains of his hair. He can't believe it. He can't believe the number of potential wickets that have gone begging.
There trying to find out.
He's in again. Bowls to Cornwall. Cornwall swivels, pulls. Doesn't really get all of it, but it's going to be chased by Clive Lloyd, who swoops on it eventually. Returns it to the wicketkeeper, but they've got through for another 3.
50 partnership up, 52 off 18 balls, 5 4s and 1 6.
Ian Botham waits for the next delivery. He's going to get 3 more. They do love their 3s, these two. This time he's swiveled it through a squarer on the onside, and they pick up a 3rd.
1 to come.
Cornwall waits for Malcolm, and this time he'll just take the 2 as he dabs that very skillfully, very artfully down towards third man. That is the end of the over, and it will be Botham to face, I believe.
Yes, indeed, it will. He'll face on 18 off 8. Rakim Cornwall, 36 off 12 with the 4 4s and 1 6. Again, going at exactly 18 runs and over. 23 off that from Devon Malcolm, not helping himself by putting his feet where they should not ought to be. 258 for 6, and in the age-old battle, Cornwall is beating Devon, therefore jam first, apparently.
Oh, apparently so. Okay. Well, I've just turned down some jam on my toast, but there you go. I will obviously have that in the tea break. In comes, who is it going to be, Tony, now? Continuing Eddie Barlow again, or are you running out of ideas?
No, absolutely not. Al Valentine is rhythmically in calypso style.
Al Valentine coming back
dancing
into
to
bowl.
the crease. Yep.
So returning to spin after that little period of pace or medium pace.
Coming back into the attack, 3 overs, 254 with 2 no balls.
Well, that has been the Achilles heel, hasn't it, for the bespectacled boys today? But it's going to be Valentine bowling to Botham. He's coming left arm around the wicket, couple of strides in, bowls. Botham smack that one. He leant into it. It's gone high. Is it going to reach the boundary? He's got enough legs on it. Yes, it has got several legs. It's got a centipede's legs, and it's gone all the way for 6. Well, not a great start for Valentine on his return. Botham leaning into that one. He comes in again, bowls, and this time he goes back. He dropped it shorter this time. He dropped it wider. But that was clever and cunning batting from Botham, and he's cut that ferociously fine of the man at backward point, and it's 4 more runs. It's amazing how this particular era of Botham has performed in this tournament. He waits for the next delivery. There's an appeal this time. What's it going to be? Is it going to be another no ball? No, he's going to be given an LBW. And Valentine has struck Botham just as he was looking really good, really strong. Has got to go.
I'm a loser. Yeah, I'm a loser, babe. I'm just a loser.
Well, after those 2 wickets in 2 balls, a partnership of 67 for the 7th wicket between Ian Botham and Rakeem Cornwall. They've enjoyed batting together and, frankly, running a lot together through the course of this tournament. 28 off 11, Ian Botham made 2 4s, 1 6, and many, many 2s. Al Valentine now has 3 for 64 after 14.3 overs, 268 for 7.
Well, coming to the wicket is the left-handed Ian Austin, uncomplicated Lancastrian. You can't say that about many of them, but he certainly was. And he, of course, got 80 against the naughty boy. Sorry, wait, it was against how the fuck did they play for England 11 that he really looked at his best. And he's coming out to join Rakeem Cornwall.
Brendan Dian, Austin Ian.
Valentine it is then, coming into the left-hander over the wicket this time, and he smacked it for 6. Oh, he got offline there and he picked him up. Lovely swing of the bat, a free swing of the bat. It's taken it away over deep backward square leg for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So what a start for Ian Austin. Valentine goes back to his mark, comes in again and bowls, and this time he just pushes gently into the offside, sees that the field is just a little bit back on its heels on the edge of the circle, and they pick up a very quick single.
One to come.
Rakeem Cornwall comes down to face. There's an appeal from Valentine again as he made a crucial breakthrough here. Yes, it's another LBW as Rakeem Cornwall. It's a long way to go down for Rakeem to try and sweep, but he didn't really get on top of it, and it's hit him on the pad, and that is in front of middle stump. And Valentine's lack of pace has done for Rakeem Cornwall.
You flipping muppet!
Been very much feast or famine for the fat lot of use middle order. We had a partnership of 71, then 2 wickets in 2 balls. Then we had a partnership of 67, then 2 wickets in and over. Good work from Alfred Louis Valentine, who I think it was Alf Valentine who got... it was indeed Alf Valentine who got the breakthrough earlier. The double... Oh, no, the double breakthrough was across 2 overs, wasn't it? I'm thinking about it. But Alf Valentine, 4 overs, 4 for 71. Really hasn't helped himself with the 2 no balls. Doing his best to keep the fat lot in check, but they are 275 for 8 after 15 overs. Ian Austin on 7 off 2, and a new man yet to face.
It's this man from Bermuda.
A hero.
You feel the earth move under your feet when Twain comes tumbling down, tumbling down. You feel the stand start to trembling when Twain let the rock goes down.
Well, he may be coming in at number 10, but there's a lot of expectation on this man after his amazing semi-final performance in which he scored 53 and took 8 for 34. He's coming out now to bat against Al Valentine, who's that was
the end of the over.
Oh, he's not going to face. So it's going to be Ian Austin to face up to who?
Declaration bowling time, Hendo. Jeffrey Boycott's going to be bowling with his hat on.
Oh God, Jeffrey Boycott to bowl. They love to see it.
Before we come to Jeffrey Boycott, the dubious pleasure of Jeffrey Boycott
Jingle's playing right now.
Bowling.
My mum could have caught that in a penny. Boix, boix, boix. He'd no more brains than a pork pie. Boix, boix, boix. Add 2 wickets to the score.
A lot of talk about bounties and mutinies. Pirate Barshire at large says bounties are fantastic. I will hear no calumnies against them. Mutiny, very much building on the joke I made earlier. Linux Lear says, you know what became of the mutinies of the bounty, don't you? Pirate Barshire says, I'll take the gallows. And then, apparently they settled a small uninhabited island now known as the Pitcairn Islands and did very unpleasant things to the native children.
Oh yes, I've read a book about that. Yes, many years ago. Yeah, it's a curious case, that, I'm afraid to say. There are a couple of books about it that are quite interesting.
Captain Bligh went on to be onto the Root of the Ashes story in the end, wasn't he? Or was it a relation of Captain Bligh?
Different Captain Bligh.
Different Bligh.
Ivo Bligh, yes, who had some stumps burned in his dishonour. Diana Patterson says, here is that dubious plague of no balls again. Yes, there have been a number of them. There have been, I think, 6 in the innings thus far. Yeah, there have been. So a whole extra over of no balls. Yes. 275 for 8 after 15. Boycott bowling to Ian Austin.
Well, this is a Rose's battle, isn't it? Ian Austin from Lancashire against the greatest living Yorkshireman. And his first ball is just dabbed away. There's a little bit of in-swing. That's what you do get with Boycott. You do get the ball swinging, but it is at a rather sedate pace. And Ian Austin picks up 2 through extra cover. Next ball from Boycott is chopped away down towards deep backward point. Third man comes running round. They're coming back for the third, bringing Dwayne Leverock down. Oh my goodness, Dwayne Leverock is an appeal against him first ball, and it's not out. Oh, the relief of his 65,000 fans on the island of Bermuda is palpable as Leverock survives. Next delivery is bowled to him, and he takes full toll of Boycott this time. As the swing comes into him, he just goes with that, lifts it over deep square leg, and picks up a wonderful maximum. Boycott in again, and I can't see what's happening to the dice, but he's going to get a single this time. Is Dwayne Leverock picks up 1 behind square on the onside.
1 to come.
1 to come for I forget who's batting. Ian Austin, and Ian Austin sees this one offline and just launches himself at it, drives it up and over extra cover, and that's gone for a very flat 6 indeed.
Oh, it started so well for Jeffrey Boycott. 5 runs only off the first 3 balls of the over, but then 6-1-6. Dwayne Leverock is on 7 off 3. Ian Austin 18 off 5. 16 overs gone, having been put into bat. The flat rule of use 11, 293 for 8.
Right, well, it's going to be Dwayne Leverock to face, and it's going to be who bowling, Tony?
Alf's going to carry on.
Alf's continuing. Well, he has performed manfully today. He's coming in left arm over the wicket, around the wicket to Dwayne Leverock. He's in, he bowls, and the big men, they love their running, and they're trying to lose a couple of stone each during this tournament, and they're going to come back for the third.
It's not very fat of them, is it?
Not very fat of them at all. And there's going to be 3 more this time as Ian Austin clobbers that away on the onside through square leg. Didn't really get all of it. A little bit of a shank, but it's 3 more healthy runs. Is that the 300 up?
299 for 8.
299 for 8, and it's ended on its end. The dice has ended on its
end.
end. Dead ball. Dead ball. In again, bowls, smacked by Leverock. This time back over his head. 4 more runs.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
And I do believe that's only the second 300 of the tournament.
Yeah, both by you.
Actually, the 4th.
The 4th?
Actually, the 4th.
Oh.
The Ginger Dread Man and the One Test Wonders both made 300 in their group game. But yes, for the second time, you have passed 300.
Okay, so Valentine continues bowling to Leverock, and Leverock is going to pick up another 3. They're going to be exhausted, these poor fat boys. They come back as that way goes away through mid-wicket, and it brings Ian Austin, the left-hander, down to face Valentine, back over the wicket to the left-hander, and he's going to be 3 more as he chops that fine. A lot of chopping going on out there, but David Steele's not involved in it, and they've picked up another 3.
1 to come in this over of lumberjackery.
And this is going to be 4 this time. That was Dwayne Leverock this time, smearing it away rather agriculturally over mid-wicket, and it's gone to the boundary.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, that collection of good running and mighty smiting, 334, 20 runs off that over, 313 for 8 after 17 overs. Leverock is 21 off 7. Ian Austin is 24 off 7.
And it's going to be Ian Austin to face up to
Clive Lloyd, captain.
Clive
He's
Lloyd,
had enough. He's seen enough. Too little, too late, but he's bringing himself on.
So Boycott's cap didn't do the work. Well, it's Lancashire versus Lancashire, isn't it? Clive Lloyd coming onto the left-handed Ian Austin. What can he do? He bowls to Austin, and Austin says, Clive, it's a bit late in the day for you to think you can come and turn your arm over. And he's just whipped that away off his toes. It's gone way up in the stands. 6 runs for Ian Austin. I don't know what happened there. The dice seems to have come off the plate. And the next delivery is cut away by Austin for 3 runs through extra cover. He's looking good, Nick. This is a worrying little stand developing. In he comes, bowls to Leverock, and Leverock uses all his leverage to take that up and over extra cover. 4 more runs. It's a very glum-looking Tony now.
Yeah, that stand has worried its way to 51 off 15 balls.
Wow, what a performance by this lower order from the Fat Boys. They've got runs in them everywhere. And that's, well, I won't go into that. Oh, now there's a big appeal against Ian Austin, and he's bowled. I think Leverock, I'm afraid it is, who's gone. He's been castled by Clive Lloyd, and that is a big relief to the huge West Indian.
Willow, weep for me. Willow, weep for me. Then your branches.
Antigua and Barbuda does for Bermuda. 25 off 9 balls, 3 fours and 1 6 by Dwayne Leverock, bowled by Clive Lloyd. 326 for 9 off 17.4 overs. The record score in this tournament, which the Fat Lot put on against the How the Fuckers, is 334. So records, what a time that would be to break that record in the final.
Yeah, and can it be this man to do it? It's going to be the man all the way from Euroa in Victoria. We know him well as the man known as Merv Hughes.
Mr. Hughes, thanks for joining us. Can you tell me what you think of Mike Atherton? Arsewine. Eddie Hemmings? Arsewine. Martin Moxon? Who? Ian Botham. Fucking arsewine. Devon Malcolm. No, pretty good bloke, actually.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Devon Malcolm, is Merv. He made 18 in the semi-final. Very useful runs at number 11. Can he support Ian Austin as they look for that record score? It's going to be Merv Hughes facing up to Clive Lloyd. And yes, he swings the bat in again. Very agricultural fashion, but the ball has run away. It's going to be chased by Eddie Barlow. He's going to slide. He's going to fling it back to Alf Valentine, and they've come through for 3.
Want to come.
Final ball of the over, then in he comes, bowls to Austin, and Austin has got an edge on that as he aimed a drive. It's flown away down to third man. They're going to come back for a third. Austin will keep the strike, and that has made them level, I think, in terms of scores. Is that right?
No, 332 for 9.
Oh.
Too short of the record after 18 overs. That record came off 18.1 overs, so scoring a little bit slower than on that occasion. Ian Austin will keep strike. He's 36 off 10. Merv Hughes is 3 off 1. Decent over-ish from Clive Lloyd. 1 for 19 off it. Jeff Perkins informs us that Captain Bligh also had a mutiny when he was governor of New South Wales. North Stang Gangwankade says today in cricketing history, Lord's 1963. Ted Dexter's England and Frank Worrell's West Indies go hammer and tongs at each other in a dramatic test. It's a draw at the end marked by an act of bravery from Colin Cowdrey, who went out to resume his innings with a broken arm. England were 7 runs away from a win with 1 wicket left. I have a story about that game. For that game, Britain briefly didn't have nuclear defences because all of the screens in Mission Control were tuned to the test match.
Ooh. Well, I think you've got to get your priorities right, haven't you? I mean, that's absolutely right. And good for them. So it's going to be Valentine to continue, Tony?
Yes, it is, Hendo. Yep.
Valentine going to be bowling to Ian Austin. Left arm over the wicket. He bowls to Austin, and Austin has cut him again. He's been playing these cross-bat shots extremely well. It's got away between backward point and cover, and it's 4 more runs.
Record breakers.
Into bowls to Austin. That comes off the plate. And so we go back to bowl again. In comes Alf Valentine. Bowls. And Austin whips that away over mid-wicket. He played it with the turn. And he's absolutely clobbered that. He's launched it. And it's 6 more runs.
Alf Valentine raised the ball 100 up for him. 5.2 overs, 4 for 101.
Wow. Interesting stuff. He's bowled quite well, but a couple of no balls have let him down. He's in again to bowl to Austin. He bowls, and there's going to be no declaration here as he's once more offered up too much for Ian Austin, and he swung that away over mid-wicket. It's 6 more, would you believe?
And 50.
Hey!
52 off 13 balls, 1 4 and 5 sixes.
What a knock from Ian Austin. My goodness me, no wonder he was one of Wisden's Cricketers of the Year in 1999.
Scoring at exactly 24 runs and over. 4 runs a ball.
In comes Valentine again, the very expensive Valentine, even though he has picked up wickets. And this is, well, that's just clever from Austin. As everyone went back to the edge in the deep, he just dropped that into the onside and ran through for 1, exposing Merv Hughes. And no one wants to expose Merv Hughes. In he comes, bowls Merv Hughes, but there's no point, there's no worry in exposing Merv Hughes because he sees Valentine. He says to Ian Austin, if you can hit him for 6, I can do the same. And it's a horrible, smeary slog, but somehow it's gone all the way for 6 runs.
.350 is breached for the first time in the tournament. 355 for 9, 1 ball left.
And 3 more runs for Merv Hughes. Again, it was a horrible slog. He got a horrible inside edge, but it's going to run away from the field. It's just some momentum with the fat boys at the moment. 3 more.
3 more. Ends the 19th over. 358 for 9. Merv Hughes is 12 off 3. Ian Austin, 53 off 14. 1 4 and 5 sixes. I think this is... Yes, it is the longest innings of the tournament. Thus far at 19 overs. Durban Oak says Hendo grinding out an unnecessarily high total and spoiling the game. Yes, no bonus points on offer in the final.
Well, no, I'm just quite enjoying the fact that the longer this innings goes on, the harder it is for Tony to get to see Watford tonight.
Well, I'll declare, so you'll win anyway.
No declarations no declarations in the second innings.
That's pathetic. That tells you all about the attitude of the unbeaten bespectacled 11. Really shocking. It's shocking.
Next victim, bowler.
Clive Lloyd. Disgrace to cricket, Tony, I'm afraid. Anyway, here comes Clive Lloyd to bowl to Merv Hughes, and Merv Hughes has smacked him off the back foot for 4. Wonderful stuff. The 400 is in sight.
Yes, only 78 short.
Who are you playing tonight, Tony?
38 short.
38 short. In comes Clive Lloyd again, bowling to Merv Hughes, and he's going to take a single. Very quickly run by Ian Austin, who was halfway down the wicket looking for that to take strike. So Ian Austin comes down to face his Lancastrian colleague. And there's an appeal. Could this be Lancashire on Lancashire action? No. It's not. He's survived. He thought he'd got an edge through the keeper. Young was claiming it, but umpire Erasmus said no. In again he comes, bowls, another appeal, surely this time.
Come on.
Another, this time it was hitting the pad halfway up, but it was swinging away down the leg side. The countenance of Tony Bishop gets darker by the ball. Now he's in again, he bowls. Is it going to be a third house out in a row? No, it's going to be 4 runs for Ian Austin, smacked away off the back.
My name is Lekhan. My name is Lekhan.
One to come.
Horrible the over. And it's going to be 6. Oh, smacked again. This is just embarrassing for the bespectacled 11. They've come through undefeated, but they're taking a bit of a battering.
Well. 20 overs gone for the first time in the tournament. 373 for 9. Merv Hughes will be on strike on 17 off 5. Ian Austin, 63 off 18 balls, 2 footballs, and 6 sixes. Clive Lloyd hasn't been this miserable since he was stuck in a traffic jam on the Manchester Ring Road in the summer with the bear.
No, to be honest, if he's stuck in
very happy then.
He would be very happy when he's stuck in a traffic jam because he won't be going at 300 miles an hour. Anyway, well, hang on. I've just seen Warwick Armstrong come out onto the balcony, and it looked for a moment as if he was thinking about declaring, but he's seen Tony's countenance and he's thought, no, this is quite good fun. I'm going to continue.
You're evil.
I am very evil. So in he comes.
Bowling.
Bowls. Who is bowling?
It doesn't matter. It's an appeal.
It's an appeal. Could it be out? Paul Allen's back. And it's what's happened there? Didn't see it. Went flying off. That's surely not. That's not out. It's not out. This is wonderful, wonderful entertainment for everyone apart from Tony. In comes Paul Allett again, and it's going to be 3 runs this time to, I don't know who, Merv Hughes probably.
Hughes.
Yes, indeed, it brings Ian Austin down to face. In he comes again, Paul Allett again. It is a Lancastrian battle. It's 2 more for Austin. So it's guided away into the offside. He's in again, bowls, and another appeal. What's going to happen this time? Surely it's all over now for the Fat Boys. Let's have a look. What's going to happen? Is it out? Can't see. It's gone off the plate. He's in again.
Yes!
Finally, the agony for Tony is over. Well, partly over. He's still got a bat, of course.
Hopefully, this time he's going to get a 200 last wicket stand. 200 run last wicket stand. And
well, we know what he did. He's going to. I mean, it would be terrible for his fans if he was to leave early to go to watch Watford when, you know, we know what they can do low down in the order of the bespectacled 11. But bring us up to date on that innings at the end there, Knuckle.
Yeah, Paul Allett bowling a punishment over, really, but gets a wicket, gets his first wicket of the innings. Last man out was Ian Austin, gone for a fantastic 65 off 20 balls, 2 fours and 6 sixes. So I will run you through the scorecard very quickly. Mark Cosgrove, LBW to Devon Malcolm, 15 off 7. Mohammad Shahzad, bowled by Devon Malcolm, his highest score of the tournament, 32 off 12. Warwick Armstrong, the skipper, caught by Dick Young at the bowling of Alf Valentine for 20 off 7. Arjun Aranatunga was LBW to Alf Valentine for 22 off 8. And Summit Patel, after putting on a good stand with WG Grace, was stumped by Dick Young at the bowling of Eddie Barlow for 37 off 12. Then WG Grace was remarkably stumped the very next ball in the next over by Dick Young at the bowling of Devon Devon Malcolm. Innings top score 72 off 24. At that point it was 201 for 6, but then Messrs Botham and Cornwall put on another fantastic partnership. Ian Botham, 1985 to 1992, was LBW to Alf Valentine for 28 off 11. Rakim Cornwall doing fine work again, LBW to Valentine, also 36 off 13. Dwayne Leverock gave it a smash and then was bowled by the skipper Clive Lloyd for 25 off 9. The last man out, as I said, Ian Austin, bowled by Paul Allett for 65 off 20. There was a partnership of 52 for that last wicket. Merv Hughes ending 20 not out off 7. 6 no balls, bringing the total up to 378 all out in 20.4 overs. The bowling figures. Devon Malcolm, 5 overs, 4 no balls, 3 for 90. Paul Allett, 2.4 overs, 1 for 43. Alf Valentine, 6 overs, 2 no balls, 4 for 117. Percy Fender, 1 over for 22. David Steele, 1 over for 20. Eddie Barlow, 2 overs, 1 for 34. Geoffrey Boycott, 1 over for 18. Clive Lloyd, 2 overs for 34. 379 for the making a spectacle of themselves 11 to keep up their unbeaten record and win this final. Tony, putting the fat lot in didn't go as planned.
No, it didn't.
Very abrupt from Tony. Well, you know, I think they've still got a chance. We've got Devon Malcolm, who scored 80 low down in the fantastic last wicket stand. We might be here till about 8 o'clock if that's going to happen. But we might there might be an empty space.
Tom Curson says this is just cruel at this point on YouTube. Durban Oak says, why would you want to watch Watford getting smacked by Burnley? The championship beckons. And Lennox Slayer says, wearing glasses myself, of course, my heart is with Tony's vaguely academic-looking boys.
Right, well, let's see if the academic boys can pull it back. If they can remain undefeated. Let's get on with the second innings as quickly as we can.
Okay.
It looks like the bear disappeared somewhere to have a little.
I'm still here. The fat things of doom are still, you know.
So chasing 379. Of course, it's Boycott and Barlow you'd want opening.
It is indeed. And who are they going to face, Hendo?
Boix.
Could have hit that with a stick of rhubarb. Boix. My mum could have caught that in a penny. Boix. He's no more brains than a pork pie. Boix. Add 2 wickets to the score.
Well, a bit of a surprise being from Warwick Armstrong. I mean, he likes the idea of impetus and momentum. And the man who has momentum is Ian Austin. Hasn't bowled a lot in this tournament, but he's going to open the bowling to Geoffrey Boycott on this occasion.
Well, it is. So we've got a Lancashire-Yorkshire Rose's battle.
Indeed.
And Derbyshire, is that who Eddie Barlow played for a lot?
Yep.
He did indeed. But he's going to be Boycott up first. Going to be facing Ian Austin. Austin is in. There's a big shout. First ball, or a shout. We don't know how big it was. And immediately, he's fat, he's round, his arse is on the ground. Mohammed Shahzad has caught that, whipped off the bails, and the bespectacled 11 are none for one.
So get on your bike and take a hike right out of here. Your history, no good for me. Your history, nah.
Fine work by the big Afghan up to the stumps, stumping Geoffrey Boycott for a golden duck. I think not for the first time we've seen an early wicket fall in a huge chase. Does this presage absolute disaster?
Yeah, he's not really done his team justice so far in the tournament, has Geoffrey. And no change, I'm afraid, today. 27, I think, is his highest score. What he's done for already.
Well,
and he's going to be... To the steel comes to the crease. Comes, of course, the bank clerk who went to war, David Steele.
Doesn't matter that he's great or he's specky, cause he can play. It's David Steele. It's David Steele.
Going to be facing Ian Austin, the man who's who's cricket entry says that he had a waistline somewhere between Billy Bunter and Friar Tuck.
Nice.
Didn't stop him getting a wicket first ball. He's in. But David Steele, as he has done in fact before in this tournament, is not going to mess around at all, because he's smacked this high over the head of WG Grace at mid-wicket. He won't get anywhere near it, and it's 6 runs.
6.
Austin in again, and this time David Steele drives down the ground. Cosgrove turns around in pursuit, but the ball's already hit the boundary sponge. Cosgrove just stops, conserves his energy.
Cosgrove turns off at the services.
Well, indeed. Oh, big shout though, or a shout. What's happened this time? It's gone again. Another wicket. No balls and not outs, not working strangely on this occasion. And David Steele has gone for a sprightly but ultimately not particularly useful 10 runs. Austin has his second wicket, so well bowled him.
Yeah, I think that's the first time Austin's taken more than one wicket in the innings. Quality beach cricket innings from David Steele. 6-4 out. 10 for 2.
Not as many lamb chops as he would have liked. So coming to the crease, the wonderful man of Gloucestershire, a one-county man, Zahir Abbas. And the Asian Bradman, they called him. Let's see what he can do today. Ian Austin has how many left?
2 to come.
He's the Asian Bradman or the rum machine. Zahir Abbas, or Mr. President of the ICC. Zahir Abbas.
2 to come.
Well, he's going to face Ian Austin, who's absolutely on fire. But Zahir Abbas, this is the one that we've been expecting to see this tournament, has sliced this backward of Samit Patel, who's there at point, and that's gone all the way for 4.
2 + 2 is on man.
Last ball of the over.
Austin in, and 4 more for Abbas. Same ball, same shot, same result. He's on to 8 off 2.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary,
Feast or famine for the making a spectacle of themselves 11, who, if you're just joining us, put the fat lot of Youth 11 into bat in this final, only for the fat lot to make 378, the highest score of the tournament thus far. by a mile. Wicket 6-4, wicket 4-4, 18 for 2 off the first over. Zahir Abbas is indeed 8 off 2. And Eddie Barlow, who will be facing now, has yet indeed to face.
No, indeed, he has not, but he's ready now. Is Bunter Barlow, the man of Derbyshire, obviously originally from Pretoria.
Who's bowling, Hendo?
Well, it's this outlook from Warwick Armstrong. He wants someone who's already feeling confident after a good little knockout there in the middle, and he's going to turn to Rakeem Cornwall.
Okay.
Rakeem Cornwall, righto.
Today is gonna be the day that you get on your new diet. By now you just somehow got really fat. I don't believe that anybody weighs as much as you do now. 'Cause after all, you're Rakeem Cornwall.
A few tweets before we get the welcome side to Big Rakeem. Bowling Pirate Bardshar at large says a few more of those Shazad stumpings and I'll be happy. Nestle Boy says Tony's notes make a welcome appearance. And Turbo Note says you could at least make the match fixing less obvious. Where's the fun?
Thank you for that. He's yet to take a wicket.
Sorry, Etiek on YouTube says how many needed to avoid the follow-on.
It's a one innings game, unfortunately.
Rakeem it is. He's bowling over the wicket. And Eddie Barlow says thank you very much. He just clips this off his toes. It's going to go down to long leg where Ian Austin was expecting to be having a bit of a blow after his heroics, but he's going to be called in. They won't quite come back for, well, they'll take 3. They won't go for 4. That one, however, is thumped away by Zahir Abbas, who's dealt purely in boundaries so far. This one is pulled between mid wicket and mid on for 4 more.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
In again comes Rakeem Cornwall, and Zahir Abbas, having hit 12 exclusively in boundaries, has just dropped the bat on this. He's called through for a quick single by the sprightly Eddie Barlow, and one more is added to the total. And this one, Rakeem already dropped that. He rather dragged that one down, and Eddie Barlow could just stand there and wait and hoik it mightily way over the head of Ranatunga, who's not, I think, that tall, but no matter anyway. It's over deep mid wicket for 6 runs.
Two to come.
2 balls left of this over. There's a medium-sized shout. Extraordinarily, it's a no ball.
What, you think I cheat, do you?
I didn't say that.
Must have been a back foot no ball. Been watching a little bit of Rakeem Cornwall. Doesn't have a big stride.
Well, you may say it there. I couldn't possibly comment. Cornwall in again.
And
he's going to take his luck, is Barlow, because this is spanked back over Rakeem Cornwall's head into the pavilion for 6 runs.
The number of the day really hops and kicks. The number of the day is 666.
1 to come.
Cornwall in. And again, Eddie Barlow's enjoying this. This one, glorious cover drive. Merv Hughes and Cosgrove almost collide as it bisects them. Neither can stop it, and it makes its sweet, wonderful way to that extra cover boundary for 4 more. What collision that would have been, by the way.
They're
Merv Hughes and Cosgrove. Wow.
They're making a spectacle of themselves. 11. Yes, it's a sort of Aussie version of the Large Hadron Collider. They're making a spectacle of themselves, 11, not daunted by those 2 early wickets, taking 25 off Cornwall's over. I think the most expensive single over the innings, including that no ball, 2 4s and 2 6s. Zahir Abbas is 13 off 4. Eddie Barlow 19 off 5, in fact, because of that no ball. 43 for 2 after 2 overs. Have taken a big chunk out of this target, but still need 336 more to win. Brian
Ian Austin still?
Sorry, just saying. Brian 001 says, it must be getting close to cricket resuming. Every time I drive my bus, you're a bus driver, Brian, excellent, past the Brixworth Cricket Ground, Northamptonshire, and they're very busy mowing and marking. Some cricket training too. And Linux Lear says, don't worry, Tony, what Arjuna need a runner. Very good. Arjuna need a runner. Very good. Is that a 12th man reference, maybe? Lacks in height, he makes up for in girth. And Paul Howarth is with us. Happy birthday, Grubby.
Happy birthday, Grubby. What?
It's all gone quiet.
Why are we all not saying nothing?
All right, okay. I wasn't sure we were being teed up. Anyway, who's bowling, Hendo?
Ian Austin's going to continue.
The man from Haslingden in Lancashire.
Hendo's eating his toast in the quiet in the dark, aren't you, Hendo?
two for 18 off the first over.
A little bit early to be toasting victory, but nonetheless, Zahir Abbas, the man on strike. Ian Austin in. Zahir Abbas clips this again off his toes. He's very partial to that shot. WG Grace will slide, having learnt that both showed today the ramp shot and the reverse sweep. He's not averse to sliding across, making 3 there. But the next ball could cause problems for Eddie Barlow. Indeed, it does. He's been absolutely castled by Ian Austin. It's another wicket for Austin. It's another wicket down for the bespectacled 11. And Hendo's nostrils are twitching with the sniff. Not just a toast, but a victory.
This is really fucking bad.
Eddie Barlow was watching the carnage in the first over, and now he's become part of it. 19 off 6 for Eddie Barlow. Bright and breezy stuff. 1 4 and 2 6s. Ian Austin now has 3 for 21 to go with his 65 in the first innings. Hendo's fat lot making a habit of fine all-round performances from the tail. 46 for 3 after 2.2 overs.
And coming to the crease, a man who, rather like his demeanour, has been quietly but unspectacularly effective. He's made scores of 30 and 37 not out. The 37 not out, in fact, against Hendo's Fat Lads to, on that occasion, see the Specs boys home. It's, of course, MJK Smith of Warwickshire and England.
It's a pretty common name, though. So you can call him MJK.
46 for 3 the score. It does seem as though my opponent has disappeared. Nonetheless, play is going to go on. Can we take 7 wickets while he's not here? Oh no. And it's a 4 straight away. MJK Smith is not going to muck about. He has cut this. Again, Samit Patel is the man at point, but that was over his head. 1 bounce into the point boundary. MJK Smith up the mark with 4.
50 up after just 2.3 balls, including a no ball. I think much faster than the Fat Lot managed to bring up their 50, but 3 wickets down, of course.
Ian Austin trundles in again. And MJK Smith, well, he's not going to mess around either. It's death or glory here. Ranatunga, who we were talking about earlier, again, all he can do is crane his neck as that ball goes about 15 feet over it and 3 or 4 rows back into that Trentbridge stand. And it's 6 runs. Austin is in. This time, MJK Smith, well, he was looking for the big hit, doesn't get it, and this time Ranatunga and WG Grace look at each other. Both think they should. The other should go. Ranatunga is actually who finally sets off the closest he can muster to a sprint. Does pull it up short of the rope. It's 3 runs.
1 to come.
And that one bounces off. A curious bounce actually off the pitch there. But who is it? Zahir Abbas, who's back on strike. He can wait. Late cuts it. It's wide of Leverrock at second strip. Second slip. Warwick Armstrong sails around from third man, and they will take 3.
They will take 3. Zahir Abbas will keep the strike. He's on 19 off 6. MJK Smith 13 off 3. After 3 overs, a very decent start in terms of the run rate. 62 for 3, I think there might have been more boundaries than non-boundaries in this innings thus far.
Yeah, we're even, with the likes of Boycott in your team, you're gonna come out swinging, aren't you? You're not going to be going for the dull and boring approach.
I applaud the Boycott. If you're going to fail,
after all.
If you're going to fail quickly. I like the approach. Who's going to bowl the fourth, Hendo?
There's a little bit of shine on the ball. The ball is going to go to a man who hasn't really featured that much with the ball in this tournament, but it's going to be Merv Hughes.
Merv Hughes, where is he?
Mr. Hughes, thanks for joining us. Can you tell me what you think of Mike Atherton? Arsewide. Eddie Hemmings? Arsewide. Martin Moxon? Who? Ian Botham? Fucking arsewide. Devon Malcolm? Pretty good bloke, actually.
Still time to donate to our JDRF UK crowdfunder. Follow that link that's pinned to our Twitter feed.
Well, Merv Hughes, he did take 2 for 33 against the Naughty Boys, getting rid of Hansi Kronya and Mohamed Azruddin on that occasion. Well,
the money was the backhander there.
And immediately, though, he's got Zahir Abbas in trouble. And Zahir Abbas has edged. Mohamed Shahzad has said, thank you very much. The ample gloves in front of the ample tummy. And that is curtains for Abbas. He has gone.
All of the dreams that I dreamed were mine are going, gone.
62 for 4. Merv Hughes strikes with his very first ball, bristling moustache, bristling.
Yeah, he does. He does indeed. Zahir Abbas ends a somewhat disappointing tournament for the great Pakistani. 19 off 7 in the final with 3 fours. Yeah, fine work by Mohamed Shahzad, a very safe wicketkeeper indeed.
Yet to get past 20. It's too late now. He's not in this tournament. Maybe in another tournament, in another life, but not in this one. And to the crease.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow.
Still shaking. Still probably needing 20 gin and tonics a day to recover from the trauma of being the Bears passenger. It is the leg end in his own lunchtime. That is Clive Lloyd. Irving Gregory Hughes is the man shining the ball as much as he's allowed to. Big red mark on his trousers, even though he's only bowled one ball.
He's had to be he's had to be told by umpire Erasmus to stop scuffing up the other side of the ball on his moustache.
Nicknamed Fruit Fly, did play for Essex for a while, maybe just a couple of seasons, I think. In he comes, and immediately Sir Clive says, thank you very much, Merv. Pulls this. WG Grace can just watch it past. It wasn't a bit of a half-hearted attempt to stick out a leg. Not effective. Into the mid-wicket boundary. 4 runs.
The number of the day. Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
Hughes won't like that. What's he got? Well, he's got a shout. And it looked pretty adjacent to me. It looked so adjacent that it may just have brushed the pad on the way through, but it went through the gate, clips the off bail, and Sir Clive's stay at the crease was brief and, not particularly successful. He's gone for 4, and 5 wickets down now, 66 for 5. The wheels are coming off the comedy car. That is the Bespectacled 11's reply. There it is. Well, yes. Goodness me. Well, a man. Sorry, go on.
Yes, another innings that was the time can be described as good rather than long. So we say Clive Lloyd gone 4 and out to Merv Hughes, as you say, 66 for 5 halfway through the 4th over. Mervyn Gregory Hughes has the amazing figures of 3 balls, 2 for 4.
Yep, extraordinary effort by Merv Hughes. Wicket for wicket, and very useful wickets they were indeed. He'll have something to tell those poor yellow-jacketed tourists that sit with him and hear his many tales of daring bloody do. But to the crease comes 135 years young, Dick Young. Wicketkeeper hasn't really come off yet with the bat. 14 and 18 scores so far. Didn't need to bat against the Fat Boys originally, but he's got Merv Hughes to deal with here. Dick Young at the crease. Taps his mark.
Dick Young's who I love. Dick Young's who I love. Dick Young's who I love.
Not much of a batter in his day, very much a wicketkeeper first.
He was indeed. Only played 2 tests, which of course is very sad because he's been magnificent in this tournament. But thank you very much, he says, and this one he just waits for and guides again past those 2 slips still in place. You've got Botham and Leverock, and it's down towards the big ship, but he's not going to move. He can't be bothered, doesn't really see the need, and it's through for 4.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
So a curate's egg, this, of an over from Merv the Swerve. In he comes again. Oh, and edged again, and I'm not sure Dick Young knew much about that. And once again, Warwick Armstrong just waves it through. Clearly thinks that the lead is so enormous, it's really not worth doing anything with. And Dick Young moves very swiftly onto 8. Rather edgily on that occasion.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One to come.
And Dick, well, this time, our Dick is in belligerent mood. He's pulled this high and handsome up over our friend Ranatunga, who can simply arch his neck and wonder where it's gone. Well, it's gone about 10 rows back for 6.
Presented with a choice between death and glory, the making a spectacle of themselves 11 have chosen both. Wicket for 6, 18 for 2 in that over for Merv Hughes. Wonderful crowd-pleasing stuff. 80 for 5, they're making a spectacle of themselves 11. The deficit under 300, 299 more to win. Actually did Dick Young a bit of a disservice there. He averaged 28 in first-class cricket, which is not bad for a keeper in those times. 11 first-class hundreds.
Yeah, he was
not too bad.
Not at all bad with the bat. Highest innings for county cricket being 220, I think.
Yeah, very decent.
A total of 611 against Essex at Leighton.
But I'm not commentating.
Very decent indeed. Linux Lear says, or formerly known as Linux Lear, to what dark gods have you sold your soul, Hendo? You seem to have made a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, he's been to the cricketing crossroads, and well, he's got the gift of the dice rolling, but his soul has been the price.
Yeah, who's going to bowl, Mr. Johnson? Sorry, Henderson.
It's going to be Ian Austin to continue.
Okay.
And am I right? He's bowling to MJK, isn't he?
He is. He's on 13 off 3. Dick Young 14 off 3.
Who was it? Ian Austin still.
Yes.
Why change a winning formula? Austin's in, and MJK. Well, he's seen the way Dick Young started, so he's going to let Dick Young carry on. He just drops the bat. They run a quick single. And Dick Young does indeed carry on again. He's very fond of that. Carry on, Dick. What was the famous line from that film? 20 miles from London, still no sign of it. But again, it's the late cut, and again, Warwick Armstrong. Well, I think it went through his legs, but no matter. 4 it is. Austin in again. This time, it's a cover drive. Merv Hughes, who's at the sort of there at the in the covers, is chasing but not going to reach it, and it goes for 4. Bit of a force ball there, and clipped off his toes just for 2 this time for Dick. First time that Dick Young hasn't actually reached the boundary in his innings so far, but he will come back for 2. He's got a taste for the strike. He's got a taste for Ian Austin, and Austin's in. Cut again. But this time Merv Hughes and Samit Patel both look at each other, closer to Hughes. Hughes happy to take it, just short of the backward point boundary, and it will go for 3, and it'll bring MJK back onto strike.
For the final ball of the over.
Final ball indeed of this Ian Austin over. There is a medium size appeal, and it's extraordinarily a no ball. Well, MJK survives.
I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
First no ball for Ian Austin to go with the one from Rakim Cornwall. That is the 8th of the match so far.
And the extra ball, well, that's the way it goes. This time MJK Smith just guides this gloriously wide of mid-wicket. WG Grace plods disconsolately in its general direction, but it's away for 4 more.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
They're all very consistent stuff, if nothing else, from Ian Austin. His first over, 2 for 18. His second over, 1 for 19. His third over, none for 19, including a no ball. 99 for 5, they're making a spectacle of themselves, 11 in chase of 379, so 280 more to win. Dick Young is on 27 off 7 with 4 fours and 1 6. MJK Smith 18 off 6 with 2 fours and 1 6.
Yeah, you feel a lot rests on these two. Dick Young going very nicely. MJK solid, dependable, doughty. Hendo, who have you got up next?
Well, cometh the time, cometh the man. It's time for a little bit of Dwayne, bit of Dwayno.
Oh,
Dwayno.
What did he get? 8 for 31 or something, wasn't it?
34.
Right.
You feel the earth move under your feet when Dwayne comes tumbling down, tumbling down. You feel the stand start a trembling when Dwayne level rock goes down.
Well, what a
8 for
performance.
34, including, I think, 4 in 4 balls.
He did. He got rid of Brearley, Ali, Youssef, Sterling, Botham, Bonner, Gillespie and Hendrick to absolutely steamroller the Beardy boys. At least the Specs are putting up a little bit more of a fight, but can Lightning Leverock strike twice? Let us find out. And not on this occasion, because who's facing?
Dick Young.
Dick Young has worked this off his legs. Ranatunga pulls it up short of that deep mid-wicket boundary, and they are able to take 3. In again comes Leverock, and MJK Smith this time guides it beautifully, leans into the most glorious cover drive. It's between Cosgrove and Hughes, and although that's a formidable barrier, it's not formidable enough, and it's 4 more.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary, crossing a boundary.
100 came up with that 3, by the way. It's 106 for 5 now.
In comes Big Dwayne. Oh, and again, MJK Smith, same ball, same result, 4 more.
2 plus 2 is a remember.
In he comes, and this one, MJK Smith just steers between Patel and Hughes. Patel at cover, Hughes Patel at point, Hughes at cover, and Patel it is who can just jog around and casually throw the ball back, and it's 2 runs. Leverock again. He comes, and this one is guided again. It's turned around down to Ian Austin at long leg. They will take fairly comfortable 3. You have a feeling that if they'd really bothered to put a shift on, they could have turned that into 4, because Ian Austin was not moving quickly. However, there's a big shout. Hendo's arm goes up. He looked pretty cast iron to me, and I'm afraid the 3 means that Dick Young, who was going very nicely, has played around the straight one, didn't do much except knock back his middle stump, and it's another nail. Another stump knocked over, another wicket down, another nail in the bespectacled coffin.
What's a bespectacled coffin look like?
I think in Nigeria they sometimes make coffins in the shape of objects. So you could have something in the shape of a glasses case.
Presumably you'd have dead eyes then.
And so on.
115 for 6.
115 for 6. That was actually the least expensive over of the innings from the Fat Lot of Use 11, making a spectacle of themselves. 11 going for it in the spirit in which the game was intended. Unlike, well, I won't finish that sentence. Dick Young was bowled by the non-turner from Dwayne Leverock for 30 off 9. Very good and enterprising stuff from the wicketkeeper. 4 fours and 1 6. 115 for 6 after 6 overs. 264 more to win. Who was going to bowl the 7th over?
Well, do you want to know who the new batsman is as well?
He won't be facing yet.
Okay.
It's going to be Ian Austin to continue.
And no surprises there. Why change a winning formula?
Yeah. Well, though he didn't take a wicket in his last over. 3 overs, 3 for 56.
He's going to be bowling to MJK Smith, who immediately just tickles him around the corner. They will take a comfortable single. And the new man, tall, angular, beaky, balding, surprisingly reminiscent in appearance of Groucho Marx. In his large horn-rimmed spectacles that he only started wearing because his cartoonist drew him wearing them, or a cartoonist. It is, of course, the Maverick of Surrey, destroyer of other DBOT teams. Let's see what he can do today. Percy Fender.
No surrender, Percy Fender.
Well, he is going to be facing, and he's immediately off the mark with a 3, actually. Doesn't quite reach that cover boundary. Merv Hughes swoops on it like a giant mustachioed eagle, and it will only be 3 runs for Percy and bring MJK back onto strike. Oh, immediately gets a single. Thank you, Bear. Tucked away. Back on strike comes Percy Fender. Well, he's got his iron now. He's 2 skips down the wickets, back over Austin's head, and the worst of football is her book Hendo is holding up. Is it picture of Watford on the? Is that Watford you've got there?
No.
Why are you showing it to me then? Oh, it's you. It's you.
Yeah.
Hendo is in an unscheduled.
Hendo's advertising his own book.
self advertisement. Hendo is advertising his own books, available at a discount in all good bookstores. So you can talk about some of your other books a bit later, Hendo, but that was a magnificent 6 by Percy Fender, who's going to go down swinging. He's going to go down at all.
What was that book, Hendo?
Worst of football. It just happens to be on my shelf here.
Shameless.
And Percy Fender gorgeously strokes this away through extra cover. Mark Cosgrove huffs, puffs, pants and waddles, but he won't cut it off, and it's 4 runs.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball, and it went for 4 runs.
1 to come, target under 250 now.
Oh no. One indeed it is. In comes Austin, and thank you very much indeed, says Percy, as he pulls this.
That went
this
like
time.
a tracer bullet.
Pulls it through square leg. WG barely sees it. 4 runs it is. End of the over. Oh, it's not the end of the over. Yes, it is the end of the over.
Yes, it is the end of the over.
No one told the bear.
100. I did say it a few times. 134 for 6 after 7 overs. 245 more to win. Percy Fender 17 off 4. MJK Smith 33 off 12. Ian Austin yet again going for 19, which he's gone for in 3 of his 4 overs.
He's been consistent.
He has been consistent. Leah, who's changed her screen name to Leah Wicket Witch, which I like, the Wicket Witch of the West. Every time Tony announces a medium-sized appeal, it's a no ball. I think he's onto something. And also says, I am become Percy Fender, destroyer of bowling attacks. And the ghost of Zoob says, I was cremated in a bespectacled coffin.
There you go. Yeah, I had a burning desire to have that happen. Okay, who have you got, Hendo?
Still Dwayne. Swing Dwayno.
Finish this off. It's going to be the big Bermudan, Russell Dwayne, Mark Leverock.
I've lost the ball.
The nerves are clearly. He's gone to look for another book to advertise or promote. What's he going to bring back this time? The Worst of Cricket.
Something like that.
He's got two books.
I've got a copy of that on my shelf, actually.
Yeah. The Kama Sutra. No. What have we got, Hendo? You might as well do your advertising now because I saw
We've
you
got a ball, Tony.
Oh,
there's a 3.
Hang on. Let's have a look. We're going to look at. It's the Worst of Cricket 2.
Yep.
More malice and misfortune. For the world's coolest strangers.
Andrew Simon's clotheslining us pitch invader.
Indeed.
And well, goodness me, it's a big arse on the front, not behind it. I hasten to add, and that's worked away for. Hang on, there's some cricket going on here, Hendo. Can we we'll advertise your next your work in a couple of balls' time, and as people have been waiting, that ball was clipped away for 3. They've taken those 3. It will bring who's on strike?
MJK Smith just clipped that 3, so it's Percy Fender on strike on 17 off 4. 137 for 6, 242 more to win.
Facing the big Bermudan. Percy Fender again just pulls this. It's between Austin and WG. Not Austin, because he's bowling, isn't he? No, he's not. Leverock's bowling. Between Austin and WG, away for 4. Fine effort. Going well.
My name is Lakhan. My name is Lakhan.
In comes Leverock again. This time Percy Fender just guides this away through the covers. Merv Hughes will just pull it up short of the rope. They're chipping away at this total, but it's the lower order having to do it. Shall we have a quick word from our sponsors, Hendo's Dodgy Book Publications Limited? Who have we got? Who have we got this time? Are you not showing it?
No, I'm just having a bit of fun because they've all been remaindered. You can't buy them new anymore.
Ah, well, worth looking out for. I've read your Worst of Cricket. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I mean, yeah, I've got a copy of it as well. I bought it as a Christmas present some years ago. I quite enjoyed it. So is that the if it were raining palace? Oh yeah, if it were raining,
I'd get hit by the dunny door.
Yep.
Yeah, fine author is Hendo.
Still get it off Kindle.
The flattery is genuine because there's going to make absolutely no fucking difference to this game, which is going south at a rapid rate for the bespectacled lads. What have we got this time? But it's another 3 from MJK Smith. Nicely tickled away, pulled up on the mid-wicket boundary by WG Grace, who's having to do some work out there. In again comes Leverock, another medium-sized appeal, and another no ball. Lennox Lear, are you listening? The wicket. Extraordinary. Who's facing it?
That was Fender. That was Fender who survived that no ball. Leverock's first of the innings. Third, 3 from the making a spectacle of themselves 11 to go with the 6 in the fat lot innings. Still 2 to come in this over.
Indeed, there are. Dwayne Leverock to bowl them. Oh, what a superb shot by Percy Fender. Late cut past Samit Patel all the way to the backward point boundary for runs.
150 up, 152 for 6.
152 for 6. And again, once more, Percy Fender just clips this through square leg, still left vacant by with probably a touch of arrogance there because they feel that they've clearly got enough, but it's away for 4 more.
Yeah, that brings to an end Dwayne Leverock's second over. He's taken 1 for 38 off his 2 overs, including a no ball. MJK Smith is 39 off 14. Percy Fender is 32 off 9. This partnership
here.
Yeah, this partnership 41 off 13, 5 fours and 1 6, all hit by Percy Fender. So MJK Smith is basically acting as his runner, making a spectacle of themselves. 11, 156 for 6, trail by 223. Leo Wicketwitch says the East German euphemism for coffin was Erdmöbel, which means earth furniture. And Jeff Perkins says Worcester football review helped start the fire very nicely.
I felt the earth furniture move from under my feet.
Was that off Amazon?
No.
Anyway,
156 for 6, 8 overs gone. Who's bowling the 9th? Surely Ian Austin's got to get a break.
Ian Austin's having a break, and into the attack is coming Warwick Armstrong himself.
Let's see if where is he? Where is
That's one easy run for a man. But a bloody marathon for a solid one.
Well, he's bowling to MJK Smith. The big ship has another chance to sail one more time on the Ali-Ali-O. And he's going to be sailing in to MJK Smith. And immediately, there's a modest, quiet appeal, which is met with, once again, a stern refusal by the umpire. In comes Armstrong again. MJK Smith, he doesn't like that kind of tormenting, so he just takes a quick single. They run through, brings the more aggressive Percy Fender onto the attack, and immediately he looks to find the cover boundary. It won't get there. It's pulled up there by Merv Hughes. They take 3, and back onto strike will come MJK Smith. Comes Warwick Armstrong again. A modest, polite appeal, and this time he has breached the defences of MJK. What a bowling change! The big ship has fired its big cannons, and they have blasted a great big hole in the defence of MJK Smith, who has gone for, don't know how many, Knuckle?
For an innings leading 40 off 17 balls, 4 fours and 1 6. Rather lost momentum in trying to keep giving Percy Fender the strike, though, bowled by Warwick, the big ship Armstrong. 160 for 7 after 8.4 overs. Still 219 to win into the making a spectacle of themselves 11's very long but surprisingly effective tail.
Well, and of course it is none other than Alf Valentine, immortalised by Egbert Moore, better known as Lord Beginner. Are we hearing the jingle for it?
We are. I think our listeners were, we weren't.
2 balls left of this Warwick Armstrong over.
Sometimes Zoom doesn't seem to take the jingles to you, but they're always playing.
Here he comes, right arm, fast, medium. And well, Alf Valentine. He may be bespectacled and not particularly muscular of stature, but my goodness me, he got every single pound of his weight behind that. Back up over the bowler's head for 6 runs.
6.
1 to come.
What has the big ship got? Well, he's got the taste so much that they could. Is it going to go for 4? It's not. It's pulled up by Merv Hughes on that cover boundary. They'll come back for 3. It ends the over, and it will keep Alf Valentine on strike.
Yes, on 9 off 2, Percy Fender 35 off 10. The best over the innings thus far from the making a spectacle, the Fat Lot of Use 11 as the captain, brings himself on 1 for 13 off it. Very good over, marginally ruined, or not ruined, but made marginally worse by that 6 from Alf Valentine, who scored some runs in this tournament, if I'm correct. 169 for 7, the making a spectacle of themselves 11 after 9 overs, 210 more to win. Gits and Grats in reference to the photo of you with those notes says, even in today's climate, I would sleep better at night hearing Tony read the news. And Leo Wicket Witch says, I can't believe Hendo doesn't bring on that Grace lad whose all-rounder qualities I've heard so much about.
Well, Hendo, who do you have coming on next?
I've got WG Grace.
Oh, you do have WG Grace.
Well,
there you are.
Easily led, me.
Easily led, yeah.
William Gilbert Grace.
You haven't bowled him much in this tournament, Hendo.
Well, he's taken 4 wickets.
Yeah, he's had his moments, but
Including
you know,
himself.
he's
Yeah.
yes, indeed. He's you know, he's but you know, I perhaps left a little bit late to come on because he was on a bit of a high after that good innings he played today. So let's see if he's still got the adrenaline flowing.
Bowling to Alf Valentine.
Bowling to Alf Valentine he is, and Alf Valentine is no respecter of a man who has statues and gates and other things named after him, because he has slapped this over mid-wicket where W.G. Grace was patrolling. It's now Ian Botham who's gone out there, but he ain't going to stop that. That's well and truly gone.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Oh, however, big shout. This was a big shout this time. Not out.
Get those fat fingers working, Bear, you fuckwit.
I've lost track. Oh, that's Alf Valentine, isn't it? Alf Valentine is facing WG. 6.
Yeah, he's on 15 off 4. 175 for 7. 204 more to win.
In comes the doctor. Again a shout. Surely this time.
Yeah.
Indeed. Alf Valentine, a big swing, a miss, leg stump, pegged back, and Alf Valentine, in brief but glorious, but gone.
Yeah, wicket for
Correct approach from Alf. Sorry,
good shout.
Correct approach from Alf. Correct approach. A shout of indeterminate volume. Alf Valentine doing the right thing. There's nothing to be gained from him nudging and nurdling. 15 off 5. He scored with 2 sixes bowled by Dr. William Gilbert Grace. 175 for 8 after 9.3 overs. Still 204 to win.
Yes, indeed. So coming to the crease to keep company with, no longer Alf Valentine because he's gone, of course. Percy Fender still there. And to keep him company, a man who performed some of the heroics that saw the bespectacled 11 over the line when he made 30 odd, I think, against Grubby's Weaves. But of course, it was Devon Malcolm was the main destroyer. So all is not lost when you've still got Paul Allott and then Devon Malcolm to come. But Paul Allott is the man at the crease. And he's facing,
I guess he's okay,
of course.
But wait up, here's the kicker. He's Paul Allott. He was 6'4". He should have bowled much quicker.
Facing WG. What's WG got? Well, it's a bouncy, almost beaten by the bounce there, but he's away with a 2 is Paul Allott, so he's going to come back. In comes the doctor, who dispenses a fairly loose and ropey ball, which Paul Allott cuts away for 3.
1 to come.
Back onto strike comes Percy Fender, and Percy Fender, again, it's a 2 short by the doctor, probably huffing, puffing and tiring a wee bit, and he's pulled to the mid-wicket boundary for 4.
2 + 2 is our member.
Is Fender perhaps rediscovering some of that form that has served him so well in this innings and indeed in this tournament? It remains to be seen. He is on 39 off 11. Paul Allott is on 5 off 2. 184 for 8. The making a spectacle of themselves 11 trail now by just 195. I say just. Leo Wicketwitch says, now that I've seen him, I have to say that my fat round armour of choice is still Lasith Malinga. He has a better haircut and facial hair too.
This is true, not a bad shout. Okay, Hendo, who's next?
Warwick Armstrong continuing.
Warwick Armstrong, the big Victorian from Kyneton in Victoria. He's going to be bowling to Paul Allott, I think. And Paul Allott clips this nicely off his toes. It's away to the mid-wicket boundary. It's fielded down there by the doctor, who's got more work to do. They come back for 3. This one, though, there's a medium-sized shout. And again, I don't know why they bother with these medium-sized shouts, because they just seem... the stumps have gone flailing in all directions. Warwick Armstrong has done the trick. Percy Fender has gone. Hendo, double fist pumps, Klopp-like style. And they are 1 wicket away from a glorious cup-winning victory.
Well,
and of a fine knock from Percy Fender. I can't give you the exact scorecard at this moment because my scoring app is playing up a little bit in that regard, but it's fine. Still scoring fine. 187 for 9, 192 more to win. Enter the man who scored 87 not out of 24 balls in the semi-final to get the making a spectacle of themselves 11 here.
It's down to Allett and Malcolm again. Devon goes, what again?
Malcolm Devon, and his neck so small that you can hardly see. And in 94 the ciphers fell one by one.
This bit is him.
9 for 57 from Devon Malcolm.
Can he do the heroics? Here we go.
And well, he swings and rather edges that, but it's over the head of Leverrock and Botham, and down to third man, where Ian Austin is patrolling where Warwick Armstrong was, and it's 3 runs. And the next ball, which is this time is Paul Allett, is clipped away. They will hang on. I thought I missed did I miss a 3?
Devon Malcolm hit a 3 first ball, then Paul Allett's just hit a 4.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Malcolm 3, and Allett just carves this backward at Amit Patel. 4. In again comes Warwick Armstrong in once again, 4 runs. Fine shot from Paul Allett.
One to come.
Very deft late shot, and again same ball, and again it's just waited for, played under his eyes with consummate batsman-like professionalism and grace, just superbly done by Paul Allett. It's 4 more.
Not that grace, or that one, or indeed that one. Paul Allett, 20 off 6 with that flurry of boundaries, 18 runs off that over from the big ship, who's at 2 overs, 2 for 31, 200 up, 202 for 9.
200 is indeed up, 202 for 9.
177 more to win. Paul Allett on 20 off 6, and facing will be Devon Malcolm, hero of the semi-final, on 3 off 1, facing up to...
It's going to be an interesting move, this, by Warwick Armstrong. He's taking himself off despite getting a wicket in his last over, and he's going to hand the ball to Ian Terence Botham.
It's in fact WG who he's taken off, having got a wicket in his last over.
That's what I meant.
That's right, it's be fair, bastard. Beefy has got boring, That's right, it's beefy.
Stop press. We've had a donation. Jonathan Shawland, 40 quid. Thank you, Jonathan.
Oh, magnificent.
Fantastic. That's wonderful news. Thank you indeed for that. A reminder, of course, that we are playing this not just for Hendo's pleasure, but also for for the cause of JDRF, to research juvenile diabetes, type 1 diabetes. You can go to our Just Giving page. If you Google Guerilla Cricket, Dickwella-Broad, you'll find it easy enough. It's on all of our social media feeds. And anything you can give is just most graciously received by us and by them with the most enormous thanks. Now, Hendo, who have you got?
He just said it's Ian Botham.
Oh, Ian Botham. Of course it is. Of course it is. Whose daughter, of course, is type 1. He climbed Kilimanjaro twice, did Ian Botham, for diabetes research.
The worst thing was that he came back down again.
Well, indeed he did, and he's served up an absolute shocker there, which, who was that, Knuckle?
Devon Malcolm.
Devon Malcolm, who surely history couldn't strike twice, but Malcolm has just spanked this over the head of WG Grace for 6 runs. What a shot.
2, 4, 6.
Botham in again. Oh, same again. Once again. This one, though, is just carved over extra cover. Merv Hughes just swearing, chuntering to himself under that bristly tash, can just watch it over his head. It's 6 more.
6.
He took 8 for 34 once at Lords, did Botham. In he comes, and has he done it? Is this it? Is this the ball? No, it isn't. It's a no.
No! So close.
This is how it always goes with these ones.
Yet again from Ian Botham.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
I think Grubby must have had in his 2 innings losses that were from horrible chases. Had about 6 no balls.
The last wicket partnership between Allett and Malcolm was 107 in the semi-final. This would be that with great big bonging bells on. Still 164 more to win.
Oh, you just never know. Although there's another shout. This time I'm feeling like it must be again. The middle stump has gone. Hendo has the victory he desires. I am going to make it to the match. The bear has been unscrupulously dodgy.
Hey, fuck you!
Unscrupulously dodgy.
You
How can
man,
you be unscrupulously
listen,
dodgy?
all you ever fucking, you players, all you ever fucking do is blame me.
Quiet.
No, he's done a fine job. Hendo, quite rightly, has his arms aloft in triumph.
What's the trophy look like, Hendo?
The DBOT trophy.
Well, I assume you already had it.
You can't see it. It's in the dark. What is it?
It's a can of lemon.
No.
It's a can of...
Should have bought yourself a trophy. You always knew you were going to win through scandalous.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, we were 5,000 to 1 outsiders at the beginning of this tournament. If you look at the betting, and that there was absolutely nothing dodgy about that betting at all.
Put 100 quid on yourself, you'd have won 500 grand, mate.
Well, yeah, no, but I don't do that sort of thing. I just set the odds. I don't.
Yes,
I don't do
a Leicester City-esque victory by 163 runs for the fat lot of Youth 11. They made 378 in their innings. The record score in the Dickwella-Broad Owzat Trophy with 72 from WG Grace, 65 from Ian Austin, gainsaying Al Valentine's 4 for 117. For the making a spectacle of themselves 11, well, it started very badly, or very well, depending on how you're looking at it, with Jeffrey Boycott being stumped by Mohammad Shahzad off Ian Austin for a golden duck, a diamond duck indeed, first ball of the innings. And then David Steele, 6-4 and out, LBW to Austin, 10 off 3. Then there was a bit of, but credit to the making a spectacle of themselves 11 for keeping up the boundary hitting, scoring at a much faster rate actually than the fat lot of Use 11. So the fat lot of Use 11 scored at 18.9 and over, and the making a spectacle of themselves 11 scored at 21.5 and over. So quite considerable difference, but that target just too steep in the end, and they kept on losing wickets. The third to go was Eddie Barlow, who was bowled by Ian Austin for 19 off 6. Zahir Abbas caught by Mohammad Shahzad with the bowling of Merv Hughes, 19 off 7. Clive Lloyd didn't last too long, in 2 balls, in fact 4 and out, bowled by Merv Hughes. Then there was a very good partnership between Dick Young and MJK Smith. Dick Young falling eventually for 30 off 9, bowled by the demon non-turner of Dwayne Leverott. Then Smith put on a very good partnership with Percy Fender before MJK rather ran out of momentum. He fell for 40 off 17, bowled by the big ship Warwick Armstrong. That was the highest score of the innings. In fact, Alf Valentine was useful. It was kind of a similar story, in and out, and just the tyranny of that massive total. Too much to overcome for the making a spectacle of themselves 11. 2 sixes off his first 4 balls, and then bowled by WG Grace for 15. Percy Fender finally fell. He's been heroic this tournament, really, has the Maverick. 39 off 12, 6 fours and 1 6. Bowled by the skipper, Warwick Armstrong. And then after a bit of a false start with some no balls, Ian Terrence Botham finished it by bowling Devon Eugene Malcolm, who could not repeat his ridiculous heroics. 15 off 5. There were 4 no balls, could have been costly. In the end, weren't. Ian Austin, 4 overs, 3 for 75, 1 no ball. Rakim Cornwall has been superb with the bat, not so much with the ball in this tournament. 1 over, none for 25, 1 no ball. Merv Hughes, very effective. 1 over, 2 for 18. Dwayne Leverott, 2 overs, 1 for 38, 1 no ball. An absolute hero of the semi-finals and beyond. Warwick, the big ship Armstrong, doing fine work. The skipper, 2 overs, 2 for 31. WG Grace, not called upon very much with the ball, but doing his job when he needed to in the final 1 over 1 for 15. And Ian Botham, who was reserved to the end, an unfamiliar role for him in this tournament. He's usually been opening the bowling. 3 balls, 1 no ball, 1 for 13. Very, very eventful. 215 all out. The making a spectacle of themselves 11. They win by 163 runs. We go now to the post-match presentation. Tony, did it all go wrong at the toss?
No, I don't think so. Unbeaten coming into this final, and every single game my team had chosen to field or been put in to field, but just didn't come off today. Things went Hendo's way. He did perhaps have the rub of the dice, but at the end of the day, you make your own luck, and he was indeed a worthy winner. We are happy to have got to the final, a bit like Watford last season. We may have got thumped, but at least we got there.
Magnanimous stuff from Tony. Hendo.
Was it magnanimous? I think there were some deep wounds in that little chat there from. I mean, you got through against poorer teams to the final. You managed to get yourself into the final. You just didn't have the skills that were needed. You didn't have the ballast. You didn't have the guts. You didn't have the.
You have those in, don't you, plenty?
You didn't have the. In the end, you just were just lacking in class. I'm afraid, Tony.
Speaking of lacking in class, thank you, Hendo. I've been Knuckle and Pandey. I've been your host and social media wrangler and scorer for much of this tournament. I should go to some social media. Pirate Badshah, well, Turbinote says, I said it was fixed. Leah says, you still have time to put money on no runouts. Pirate Badshah says, congratulations to the fat lot of East 11. After a hard time of it in the warm-ups, they picked themselves up and showed the world the serious heavy hitters they are. Party hat emoji, party hat emoji, party hat emoji, Ashes earn emoji, Ashes earn emoji, Ashes earn emoji. Thank you to everyone for following us through this tournament. Tom Curson says on YouTube, that was incredibly enjoyable. Congratulations to Hendo. Commiserations to Tony and all the team. Etniak says, good virtual cricket all. The congrats to Hendo. Can you confirm your plans for the Windies series for us idiots who've not been keeping up with the Guerilla newsfeed of late? We haven't officially announced it yet, but obviously we will be doing the West Indies series, and we'll be doing it in an exciting new development that we keep on innovating here at Guerilla Cricket. We'll be doing it almost entirely remotely. We're very, very excited. We'll have more about that in the next couple of weeks, but we obviously the COVID thing has got us all thinking. But yeah, we're very, very excited about that series.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. Tony, can I talk to you tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, of course you can.
Or has he gone?
No, I'm still here. And yes, you can talk to me tomorrow.
Talk to you more about what we talked about today.
Rather underwhelmingly end the tournament with conversations that should be had off air, on air, but it was ever thus here on Guerilla Cricket. So it's goodbye from Hendo and Tony. Goodbye from me. Thank you for his fine work to the Bear.
I've been here every bloody game, boys. Every bloody game.
You're a hero, Bear. You're my hero.
Yeah, wonderful stuff from Nigel the Bear Walker. Thank you to you for donating to JDRF UK throughout the tournament. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Join us again on July the 8th.
See you then.
Hey!
Cheers, guys. Take care, all.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Guerilla Cricket. Whoa. Guerilla Cricket. Whoa. Guerilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph